You know me. I've always been on. Listen, I've always been honest about it. I've always told you that I'm ignorant when it comes to the music. I called them imagination, didn't I? Imagine Dragons. Fuck. Dragon. Whatever the fuck. Them. You know who they are. Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content on my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. But now we can go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty details of today's stream. Naya, I always acknowledge you. You know this. We can go ahead and start talking about the question. I got a shit ton of questions this week. And it's going to take us some time to get through all of them, Chad, because you know how I like to give thick, girthy, well-endowed, robust answers. So, we're going to start with the order which I have received these questions, and the first person to submit these to me was Vanisphere, Chat, who is currently neck deep in Final Fantasy XIV of the MMO shenanigans, so please go ahead and check him out. Now let's start with his first question, Chat. These first questions, it should come as no surprise given how goddamn excited I am to be playing Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, new expansion. Movie question. After playing Endwalker for about 6 hours, I'm absolutely blown away by the storytelling, changes the gameplay, and the music. While I will admit the game already had a leg up when it comes to my first impressions since it's my favorite game, I will say it's living up to the hype. A lot of films fail to live up to the expectations, but sometimes we get lucky and get one that absolutely nailed it. What is your favorite film that absolutely lived up to the hype? I had several jumped out to me. And I was like thinking over the last 20 or so years. Like I know there's other things that lived up to the hype like back in the 90s and stuff, but I was a stupid kid. I didn't know what the hell was going on when I saw these movies. You know, I just let it wash over me. I mean, maybe back in the people were going like, this is going to be something big. You know, like Pulp Fiction, I imagine, lived up to the hype for people. The Lion King lived up to the hype. Jurassic Park lived up to the hype. I'm sure, but I did not experience that because I was a kid. I was like, I don't know what even hype means. So I had to think about things that I was very aware of and very excited for, and a lot of other people were excited for. And so one of the first movies that came to my mind was The Dark Knight, which we had that first trailer, and people were so curious about Heath Ledger's Joker. We had seen images, of course, but not a lot. And when that first trailer hit, I mean, it was a huge cultural phenomenon. I've been like, holy shit, this is a new take on this character. It looks even better than Batman Begins. I mean, everyone was excited. They did several trailers and teasers and things. And I loved it. Maybe they did like an original teaser. It was just the logo. It was like this black screen or something, and it was this light shooting out. And it was the Batman. It was forming the Batman logo, but you had all this dialogue. And Michael Caine's like, some men don't think of anything logical. You know, they just want to say the world burn. And all these other people come in, and then we have the Joker coming in. It's like, why so serious? Or whatever. What's his line? He says, I think it was when he said that, and then he starts that maniacal laughter. He's torturing the guy, Brandon or Brian, where the fuck his name was. And then it's like, and then the Batman Lego changes into a Joker card. I remember people losing their mind for that at the time. And then when the movie came out, it was amazing. As you guys know, I'm a huge Dark Knight fan. I really love Batman Begins. Not so much Rises, but I really love Dark Knight. And I saw that film like 5 times in the theater. Last time I saw it was in IMAX. And I felt like that movie definitely lived up to the hype for me. Personally. What are you even talking about? You know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Batmans. Talking about the Batmans, goddammit. Other than The Dark Knight, I mean, I'm sorry that I'm just thinking superhero stuff, but I feel like, you know, it's some of the biggest movies of our culture right now. Or society, if you will. And Avengers Endgame. I think Avengers Endgame lived at the hype. It's like, okay, you are ending an era of a franchise before we move on to the next one. And my fucking God, they did it. I didn't think they would make me so excited and so emotional while watching a comic book movie again, but they did it. Like, they gave so many people their moments, that scene. I mean, so many scenes, but particularly that third act. I mean, everything from, you know, Cap picking up that hammer and fighting Thanos in the portal scene, on your left, and everyone coming through, Chad, and then Avengers assemble, and all running. It's like, oh my God, it's amazing. That lived up to the hype, Chad. That was beautiful. That was beautiful to me. Deadpool. I think Deadpool lived to the hype because everyone wanted Ryan Reynolds to play that character for so long. Famously, even Deadpool in the comics said, if I were to describe myself, I'm a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Shar-Pei, which is great. And, Ryan Reynolds was actively trying to play that character in Blade Trinity. He got the opportunity to play Deadpool / Wade Wilson, X-Men Origins Wolverine. We all know that, how that worked out. But then we finally got that movie after various things had leaked out and test footage. And it's like, Fox said, fine, we'll do it. And we saw those trailers. That marketing was so funny. All how they were selling the movie for, like, it was certain genres. Like it was a romantic movie or a comedy and all certain things. And I was like, oh, this is great. And I love that, those trailers, Shad. And they had X Gonna Give It To You in the trailer. I think that just suited it so well. And I saw the movie and the opening act where it's the slow motion car crash and we're seeing all these references and it's not the actors' names. It's like written by some douchebag, starring America's Perfect Idiot, a Stan Lee cameo. I'm like, oh my God, they're getting it. They're understanding Deadpool. And it was great. So Deadpool and now that's the genre needs that. Like the genre needs things to poke fun of itself, take the piss out of it, chat. And Deadpool was that movie for the superhero, the comic book genre that was needed. It was very self-aware, which is great, which is Deadpool, And then also, I hate to be it's all comic book thing, but Logan. I mean, Hugh Jackman is everyone's Wolverine, I think. He's the actor for the first time who ever played him live action. That's what made Hugh Jackman's career. He is Wolverine. But we never saw him as that berserker, rage, bloody, gory Wolverine that we saw in the comics and things, or various, storylines. And because of the success of Deadpool, Fox went, okay, we'll do a rated R, old man, loose old man Logan adaptation. And I was like, okay, I'm hoping for the best. This is Hugh Jackman's swan song, and I thought the movie was great. I got very emotional watching it. It, yes, very much like Deadpool, it cherry picked certain things in the franchise that worked and scrapped the rest that didn't. It was its own thing, but I really loved that, chat. So that also, to me, lived up to the hype. I loved it. Luke the Boss, Dark Knight is the one for me. I guess Godzilla vs. Kong 2, but to a way lesser extent. The end of Endgame did, but the first 2/3 did not. Also, I totally forgot about Deadpool, but yes, that did too what it was intended to do. Magala, I'm excited for the Batman song. I'm really excited for the Batman. The movie looks fantastic. Another super movie that lived up to the hype, Blade Runner 2049. I grew to like Blade Runner 2049 more and more the more times I saw it. Like I own it on Blu-ray. I think I liked it more watching it by myself in the theater. Dark Knight Rise lived up to that. For you, Nish? Yeah, it just didn't for me. I'm not a big fan of that movie, except for Tom Hardy's bang. Yes, I was born in darkness, molded by it. Batman. I love that now. Oh, Lord. Winter Soldier, that's true. You know what? Winter Soldier did love to like. Winter Soldier was like, whoa. That felt it because that's when I feel like a lot of the Marvel movies started to incorporate different genres. So it just wasn't a superhero film. When we got to phase 2, which I think started rough with Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World, I was like, fuck, Jesus. But then we had Winter Soldier, which is it's a spy espionage movie. Political thriller. I was like, this is really cool. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, we brought space opera to Marvel. I was like, this is great. And so both of those, I feel like, also lived up to the hype. So those are great examples, too. What a great story, Mark. Thank you, Naya. Get Out lived up to the hype. I guess because I liked the trailer a lot for Get Out. I thought, this is a cool looking trailer. And I was hyped for it. I was excited for it. But yeah, I guess for a lot of people, yeah, it was true. The hype was real for Get Out. Because people were saying like, no, you don't understand. This movie's amazing. And they were like, oh, and so, yeah, I loved it. Imagine as a huge Halloween 1978 fan, Halloween 2018 looked up. You know what, John? I agree with you. We had a nice Halloween discussion the last time you were here, we were visiting. What a way to bring back a horror franchise, chat. I mean, we just had Halloween Kills come out, but we're not talking about that. 2018 is like, wow, what a great direct sequel and a way to reignite interest in a series that has been around for 40 years at this point. Literally 40 years. And so, at the time. So that was great. That lived up the hype. That's my favorite of the Halloween films is Halloween 2018. So that was a good one. Good choice. Bane is meme-worthy, true. That did give us all the Bane memes in the voice. Yes. Parasite, that's going. Sicario lived up the hype. Sicario's good. Did you like Us? Nah, I wasn't a big fan. I thought it was it's really beautiful looking movie. I think it's well shot. I like the performances to a degree, but I really didn't like the writing. That was the thing that bothered me. The story and the writing, I thought was like, this didn't measure up to Get Out. I felt like there was just so many holes you can poke at. I was like, wait, what? It was a little. I think the concept was too big. You know, there was just a lot of plot holes for me. And that really took me out of it. While I even watched, I was like, this is just, I don't like it. Whereas I watched Get Out, I didn't question anything. So, yeah, I'm not a big Us fan. Lord of the Rings, I guess that's true. See, I would probably say Lord of the Rings lived up to the hype, but I was so young to not even like realize what the big deal was, if you will. But I knew that obviously it is a big deal. I mean, it's an adaptation of these amazing books that people struggled to adapt for decades, and so they finally did it. And they did it so well. So yeah, I'm sure that the hype was met with those. Of course. So I totally agree with you. Spock, Winter Soldier, cemented Cap that's true. Mine as well, and it also cemented Chris Evans' Cap for a lot of people because I thought I liked Chris Evans in the first Avenger a lot. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of that movie, but I like him. I think he did a really good job. But I really don't like the way Joss Whedon writes Captain America in the first two Avengers movies. I don't like how he wrote him in the first one, and I don't like how he wrote him in Age of Ultron. But the Russos really love that character. I thought they really did right by him there. And all the future Cap films in Winter Soldier, Civil War, and then in their Avenger films, that they did that right. The boss, also Cloverfield. I saw the trailer and didn't even know what it is. Was going to shoot. That's true. Yeah. How's it going? That was like one of the last super successful viral marketing campaigns. People were like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it's going. I think they talked about that like a while back on a previous Class in Glasscast, like some of the greatest marketing campaigns for movies. Cloverfield's definitely up there. I mean, I'm not a big fan of this other film, Blair Witch Project, but that has a very incredibly successful marketing campaign. That was pre-internet too. Yeah. So Civil War. Captain America Civil War's going. Piranha 3D, really? Now I know. I don't think you believe that. Oh. I liked it, yeah, but not as good as Get Out. Yeah, Get Out to me. Yeah, I don't know. I've only seen Us once, and maybe I want to watch it again someday. But I just like there were some good performances. Lupita Nyong'o, I think, does a great job, and I think the kids are very good. Winston Duke felt miscast to me. I was something about him. I didn't dig it. Yeah. Okay, James. James was great. Gravity. Paddington. Paddington's true. That's like, oh my god, this is so wholesome. Paddington 1 and 2. And Samantha Russo brothers, yep, with Winter Soldier. Nah, I bring nice smiles. Yes. Sissy Man Joker loaded the hype for you. I was 13. I wanted to see a killer fish movie with gore and boobs. Well, you got that. They had plenty of that. And so now you're just trolling me. Mass Effect and drama. Come on now. Okay, 1917 was not hyped enough. 1917, yeah, I think it would have it's not a movie that comes up to mind where it's like, oh, this is like, oh, I'm so excited for it. I mean, people were obviously excited for it. It's a great movie. 1917. 2019 was such an amazing year for films. There were so many like possible best picture, like that could win. 1917, you had 1917, you had Avengers Endgame, you had Parasite, you had Toy Story 4. You had a lot of great movies that year. So many great. That was a very strong year. Yeah. And these last two just haven't measured up just because of the pandemic and delays and such. 2019 was awesome. Very good year. SN3 is a great game once you take away the ending. I've talked about that many a time. Dunkirk was fun. I'm not a big Dunkirk fan. But a lot of people do like it. Those are mine, Vanny, though. Like I said, The Dark Knight, just to wrap up. The Dark Knight, Avengers Endgame, Deadpool, Logan. I know that they're all superhero films, but those what came to mind. I remember just people being super excited about them, very hotly anticipated, and I was like, "Oh fuck, these are great." That was so wonderful to have that. So that was good. Toy Story 4 shocked me because that's the thing. Like as you guys know, I was like, I don't like these trailers. I'm not into this. Why are you doing a fourth one? You had a trilogy. It was perfect. What are you doing? And I was like, oh shit, you did it. This was also great. I was like, God damn it, Pixar. Every Toy Story film is great. And I was like, huh. See, when Fox, you say The Incredibles 2, I do not like The Incredibles 2. I don't know. I think it's a beautiful looking movie. And I like the focus on Elastigirl. I mean, believe me, sure, I love the focus on Elastigirl. But I hated the villain. I just remember being like, oh, really? I mean, I predicted who the villain was. I was like, oh, this is what's going to be, huh? I remember just being very underwhelmed by, I didn't hate the movie. I just remember being very underwhelmed by it. And they just made Mr. Incredible, Mr. Mom. And I was like, all right. I love the original Incredibles is my favorite Pixar movie. I adore that film. It's the Fantastic Four. Oh my God, you did it. I think Syndrome is an amazing villain. When everybody's super, no one will be. I love that. My name is not Buddy. It's not Incredible either. That ship has sailed. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Yeah, Bear Bears falling off since Incredibles. What else? I love Ratatouille. I really like Ratatouille. Ratatouille was really good. And I like Mission Impossible 4. It's not my favorite Mission Impossible movie, but I really like that one. Probably my second favorite. Yeah. Mr. Yasmin, welcome to the stream. Remember Jack fighting the raccoon from that film. Exactly. So, okay, we're on the same page then, John. We're on the same page. Yeah, you remember the Jack stuff because it was all his little precocious shenanigans. But outside of that, there's nothing. I didn't like the movie. I don't hate it, but it's not one. I never felt because I own The Incredibles on Blu-ray, chat. Like, I have Disney Plus. I can watch the movie anytime. I was like, no, I want to own this physically. This is such an incredible film, and it pays wonderful homage to superheroes, particularly the Golden and Silver Age. And I love that the movies, you don't really know watching it for the first time. It's like, oh, it's a fucking period piece. It takes place in the early 60s. I was like, oh, that's fucking cool. So, yeah, I don't know. He wasn't able to capture the magic of Incredibles 2. They're going to do a third one, obviously. The last movie made so much. It made $1 billion+. So now they're going to do another one. Shit, I'm hoping for the best, but yeah, they gotta do something different. They gotta do something different, Chad. We'll see. Did I see the news? The directors of Aladdin and The Little Mermaid are going to direct an animated DC film, Metal Man. No, I was not. No, I didn't know about that. I'm not familiar with the Metal Men. The only thing I've been reacting to today was the Spider-Man stuff. We did the Spider-Man across, not Enter the Spider. I call it Enter the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, and a Morbius clip. But I haven't reacted to that other thing. No, I'm unaware. How do you feel about Monsters, Inc. and its prequel? I love the first Monsters, Inc. I think it's great. Mike Wazowski. And it's like, I'm always watching Wazowski. Always watching. I love Roz. She's amazing. I don't like the prequel. The prequel's like, why does this movie exist? I don't need this. I never need to see the college years of Mike and Sully. I wanted a sequel. Like, I know that they have that sequel series, but it takes place immediately after the events of the original Monsters, Inc. What I would have liked to have seen is have a movie take place decades later, or I don't know, years later, and fucking Sully is interacting with an older Boo, where she's a teenager or a young woman in her 20s. That to me would have been a lot interesting. And she's always been a part of his life, and he's been a part of hers. I think that would have been much more interesting. I don't need to see the college years. That was always weird to me. It's like, really? I thought the movie was boring. I did not care for it. We'll see Incredibles 3 in another 14 years. Yeah, if the actors are alive. What's his name? What's his name? Coach Craig Nelson's like 75. You can even tell he sounds older in the movie, too. It's like he's got that old man voice. I was like, God damn it. Monsters Inc. The quest for more money. What does Water News say? I'll sell 1,000 children. That's my favorite. One of my favorite parts in the film is when Water News just fucking goes off. I will kidnap 1,000 children if it means this company can live another day. It's like, holy shit, dude. I love that. And they arrest him. Oh. That's what everyone has said, but the director doesn't want to revisit it. For Monsters, Inc., that's a lost opportunity. That'd be good. I mean, I'd rather they not do another one then. That first movie's great. That's what everyone wants, the next Monsters, Inc. film. Yeah, I would give it. That's what I would give it. I would give it like on a DT scale, Monsters, Universities, and rental. It's like, it's fine. This does not need to exist. It's not like the voice actors doing a bad job. They're not doing a bad job. It's just uninspired. It's an uninspired movie. New edition. What games do you think lived up to the hype? That is a good question. That's a very good question. I mean, so many. I mean, God of War, I should say, 2018 lived up to the hype. Last of Us lived up to the hype. Mass Effect 2 lived up to the hype. A couple off the top of my head. There's some big ones. Chat, this is literally the first question. We've been on for an hour, and I've only answered one question so far. I need to move on. I need to move on to the next question. Oh, Lord. But just to reiterate, the movies that lived up to the hype for me personally, Chad, the ones that I can think of, The Dark Knight, Avengers Endgame, Deadpool, and Logan. Oh, Resident Evil 2 Remake. That lived up to the hype, too. That was a great game. Great game. TV question, chat. Endwalkers are introducing players to a new territory called Thavnair, chap. And a race called the Aardvarks. They are humanoid elephants that we'll be interacting with as we work on our crafting classes. They are primarily merchants, so we'll be making them stuff to help their economy. Roaming around these new areas, you can definitely tell that Indian architecture and culture were major inspirations. Fantasy and sci-fi TV shows have often used other cultures as inspiration for new line civilizations. For example, you've talked about how the Fire Nation in Avatar, The Last Airbender, is based on Japanese culture, Imperial Japan. The Earth Kingdom is China, aside from Avatar, etc. What show do you think codifies in the culture really well? That would have been my answer. It's Avatar. Perfect. Jason, welcome to the stream. Thank you for the 10 biddies. I hope you're doing well. Chris looked like he was having a stroke trying to read that. Some of the names, I was like, but I got it. The Aardvarks, chap. See, I would have said Avatar: The Last Airbender, chat, like a TV show, particularly an animated program that borrows from various cultures, particularly like East Asian culture. So Avatar, the Fire Nation is very much Imperial Japan, from the 30s and the 40s. There's no doubt about that. Earth Nation is China, various other places in Southeast Asia as well. And then you have the air nomads, who are very much representative of Buddhist monks. And then, of course, you have the water tribes, which are Inuit, Native American, Eskimo cultures. Native American cultures. And I was like, I think that's cool. I mean, I don't think there's another TV series out there that does what Avatar does well when it comes to incorporating different cultures and showcasing them in really fun, unique ways. I think that show does it perfectly. Like, the only one I could think of, you mentioned sci-fi properties. I think Star Trek, does that really well across its various iterations, whether it be the original series or Next Generation or Deep Space Nine or Voyager, or even the various movies and things. The purpose of Star Trek, or like one of the themes that Gene Roddenberry, he wanted to always emphasize, is that humanity finally got its shit together, which I really like that, where despite our cultural differences, our arguments, and with each other in regards to whatever they may be, whether it be religion or racial or anything, like we put that all aside for the greater good, which is amazing to think about. And now we're united, but we're also a part of this galactic community of all these other races of different cultures, and they're clearly inspired by certain things. I mean, we look at the original series, you had the Klingons, who were very much the Soviet Union, if you will. But as the show continued on and took on, it changed and it took on new iterations, you saw other cultures. Maybe they were originally presented as villains. Like, you saw Klingon culture and you learned more about them and how they interact with the Federation. And it was like, oh, I understand the perspective. And same for the Vulcans and the Romulans. And they borrow all sorts of things from different human cultures and religions, and the Ferengi and things. And I was like, that's really cool. I think in terms of like a live action show that, maybe it's not a specific type of culture they're borrowing something from, but clearly it's meant to be that. It's meant to be like, hey, we have all these different nations around, but we gotta learn to work together. But it also takes the time to, even though maybe we're enemies with them for a period, it takes the time to show the cultural impact that they have and the positives about them, which I think is interesting. I really like that. So yeah, Star Trek, I think, is in terms of live action shows, that's the ultimate answer. But yeah, animation, it's definitely Avatar: The Last Airbender. Is there like one that comes out to you that really showcased a culture really well, Chad? Culture Shock, think about culture. Culture Shock, thank you for the 61 biddies. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing very well today. My favorite Star Trek film? It's probably a safe answer, but, Wrath of Khan's really good. Khan! All that shit. Khan. I like that one a lot. What is God? Neil the Starship. I think that was the fifth one. Yeah. Yes. Squid Game. Yeah, I guess, yeah. South Korean society and the class system and the economic disparity. That's a good one. Yeah. Scotty Bob Amy did a good job of showing all these. Oh, that's a great one, Deadpool. Oh, what a perfect answer. You have Space Mexico, Space China, Space Japan. That's true. In the anime, and I guess in Netflix. Actually, I don't know the Netflix show, but in the anime, you see each city is very much inspired by a certain society or culture. And so depending on like where you are, where we go to Venus or Mars, you have like segments where it's like, okay, this is very clearly Russian inspired, or this is Chinese inspired, or this is Mexican inspired, or, Central European inspired. It's like, that's really cool. That did that aesthetically, especially. Aesthetically, definitely for Cowboy Bebop. That's a good pick. Very good pick. I like that one a lot. Yeah, Navi, Native American, very much so. Star Wars is the same. Star Wars is the same thing, much like Star Trek, incorporating a lot of different cultural elements. You know what a good film review for Chris is? Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. Is that the one where they say, why does God need a starship? Yeah, core counts. Yeah, core is part of that. Well, core is interesting because that also examines class disparity, then forgets it. I was like, all right, we did with that. We're moving on. But it also looks at like 1920s culture too, because that's what, even though Avatar: The Last Airbender clearly takes place like, ancient times and things, borrowing from all sorts of, that particular time period, where by the time we get to core, it's like, it's the swinging 20s and everything's powered by steam and electricity. It's amazing. Everyone's listening to that new radio box. Everyone loves those sound waves, and that's kind of what that is, which is cool. Yeah, so that's behind Star Trek, but Cowboy Bebop is an excellent answer, Deadpool. That's a really good one. Really, really good one. Now, Chad, we'll go ahead and move on to Star Wars did cultural representation. Oh, yes. Yes, it did. I was trying to think of like the ones that did it very well, but in terms of doing it poorly, no doubt Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, everything from the Nemodians, which are, again, referencing Imperial Japan. It's the Trade Federation. Is that real? To Watto, being offensive Jewish stereotype, is the money, Annie, is the money. And the Gungans, who are a bunch of Step and Fetcher characters. Excuse me. I know nothing about birthing no babies, Qui-Gon. Yep. Very good examples. Ro, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Cheers and salute to you. So, yeah, you get the worst and then the best of, chat. In Star Wars. But now, we'll move on to another question from Vanny. This is a game question. One of the greatest things about Endwalker so far has been the combat changes for each of the classes. For example, red mages can move around the battlefield a lot easier by being able to do 2 backflips and 2 lunges back to back. Previously, you could only use each one before the cooldown timer kicked in. And my most powerful spells have gone from being single target to multi-target. Ooh. What game series has been able to successfully improve combat with each new installment? Mass Effect is a great example, where the original Mass Effect that's combat is dated. Like, I love that game, but it's dated, of course. When you get to Mass Effect 2, it's like, oh my god, it's night and day. It gets better, chat, and it's refined in Mass Effect 3. But particularly between Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, there's no doubt about the combat has gotten better. Borrows a lot from Gears of War. Like a lot of third-person shooters did. Gears, like, again, this is my next answer, but at least part of it, where the two biggest and most influential third-person shooters, I would say, of all time that had an impact on that specific type of combat was Gears of War and Resident Evil 4. And Resident Evil 4 is my next answer, chat. Where you think about Resident Evil, we had the original trilogy of 1, 2, and 3, Nemesis, of course, and Code Veronica, and they're like, well, we're going to change the perspective. It's not going to be a fixed camera anymore. It's going to be over the shoulder. And that's what we had for 4, and that's what it's pretty much been ever since. Yeah, obviously, we had the first-person games as well, and a couple of remasters where they went back and did the original Resident Evil 1 remaster. They did for GameCube, I think. They did the fixed cameras, but they did all the they changed a lot of things too. But 4 definitely changed the game in regards to that third-person combat for the entire series and for a lot of horror games in the future. I mean, without Resident Evil 4, we wouldn't have had Dead Space, chat. And that's very true. So definitely, I think the jump in terms of, like, yes, Resident Evil 4 is definitely more of an action game compared to the other Resident Evils, but it's a lot easier to control Leon in 4 than it is to control him in 2. Where, yes, part of the horror, the terror of those games is like, the controls and the fixed camera, like that makes it, you get tense, of course, but at the same time, it can be frustrating. Where in 4, it fixes that, in my opinion. Other games, Assassin's Creed 2 from Assassin's Creed 1, chat. Assassin's Creed 1, some good ideas. in that original game, but it felt very samey, very kind of like, all right, we're doing the same thing every mission again and again and again. Assassin's Creed 2, I felt, add a lot of variety to the series. And that carried on into Brotherhood and Revelations and in Black Flag. And I've not been in the Assassin's Creed series in quite some. I did Valhalla, but that was when I dipped my toe back in. I was like, nope, not for me anymore. I didn't care for it. Nick, thank you so much for resubscribing. 14 months of incredible support. Thank you so much, Nick. I hope you're doing very well today. Thank you for rejoining the Revenants, the Juicy Gangsters, if you will. That's awesome. I gotta play Enslaved, bro. I love Enslaved. It's such a good Enslaved Odyssey of the West. I've talked about that many a time on stream. Someday I will. I'll check it out. But Assassin's Creed 2. Yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, definitely huge improvement in terms of gameplay from the original one. And another old callback check, because I'm a Mega Man fan. I haven't played the Mega Man games on stream, but I will someday do so. The Mega Man 2 is so much better than Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1 just had a lot of issues. The difficulty would spike, and it was unfair. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3, I know Mega Man 4, 5, 6, but particularly Mega Man 2 and 3, those found the perfect balance, where they were challenging, but they weren't like, I'm going to slam my head against the wall because of this enemy placement. Like, no, everything really worked well in those two sequels, and the other sequels after that. But because one's not a great game. Mega Man 1 is not a great game. It can be really unfair and frustrating, and hard to control at times. Mega Man 2, 3, fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. To this day, those games hold up. And they've aged extraordinarily well. Mega Man 1, not so much. The Andy Serkis game, yes. Yes, you've spoken about it before. I want to see it. I will. I'll play it. One day I'll play it. I own it. I own the 360. I'll definitely play it. Mega Man 2 is some good shit. Mega Man 2 and 3. Yes. The AC1 very much is a prototype. And how funny it was supposed to be a Prince of Persia game. But yeah, it's a prototype. Infamous for you? Infamous for, like, Infamous 1, Infamous 2? I've not played those games in so long. I've forgotten how they play. It's been a while. Oh, GTA is a great example. That's true. Where it was originally was top-down, chat, like, you know, GTA 1 and GTA 2, like, it took place in London, then GTA 3. That changed everything. GTA 3 was like a fucking revelation. Very important game in video game history. Great pick. Great pick, chat. Moving on from that, got a content creator question from Vanny. One of the newest things you can do in Endwalker is walk around with some of the NPCs at certain points in the story and learn about the new territories, or even have unique conversations about the environment. It's a little change, but it enhances the immersion immensely because you get to have more personal moments with characters you've known now for 8+ years. As a content creator, sometimes the smallest changes that can have the greatest impact. What are some small changes that you've made as a content creator that made your life much better, or easier? I guess it's not small. I wouldn't describe it as small, but it's just made my life easier, and that's getting an editor, hiring an editor, having Alex Bernal edit the videos, chat. You know, I fell behind with all that because I was working. For those who don't know me, before I was doing this for a living, I did have a day job, and I also did this. And that made it very difficult. And eventually I was just like, I'll get to those videos someday. And they stacked up and they stacked up and they stacked up. I was like, oh, shit, I am literally months behind of editing these. And Alex Bernal is one of those guys, like, I can help you edit, Chris. And I said, I will let that happen, but I want to pay you something before you start doing that. And he's been doing it for... I was trying to think at this point, like, what, a year? He's been doing great, and he's been doing a fantastic job. Alex Bernal's been doing a fantastic job editing all these videos, chat, putting it up there. Matter of fact, I probably want to get another editor too, just to have two working at the same time, working on content and videos. Like, that's something I want to do. But yeah, the best decision I made, and I wish I had made it even sooner, because I could have done it. I could have had him doing it sooner, chat. But it was my own stupidity, my own ignorance. But he's been doing a great job, and so that's definitely helped out, chat, because it would have been very stressful trying to do that along with everything else I do. Yeah, deferring to others to help with, like, background stuff is necessary, especially streaming for a living, you know, and working on this backlog. So, no, as I say, chat, cheers to salute to Alex Bernal. He does fantastic work, and I really do appreciate him. He's helped grow the YouTube channel too and make it even better. So, thank you, Alex Bernal. Other small things, too, doing the artwork for all my title cards. I mean, I do it, but I like it. You know, I didn't try to do anything that's... when you look at, like, a lot of title cards on YouTube and stuff, they do the whole, like, it's, I don't know, kind of like a little obnoxious looking. And I like to keep it simple, which might actually bite me in the ass in hindsight. But I like the look of my title cards. I think they're really cute. where it's me, like you see the little animated version of the cartoon version of me, and you get the logo and stuff. I try to keep it simple, and the Class in the Glass logo, and I think it adds a little personality to him before you click. I was like, it looks fun. At least I think it does. I've always liked that aesthetic, you know. So I've liked that. I think that's really cool. And you see you kind of have the same thing with the. It's not showcased very well on the Patreon, but you know if you look at the Patreon, you can you have the thing above it, but you also see the same thing with this for the full reactions and reviews and things and commentaries. So I've always liked that. So that's made my job easier because because I was thought, I don't want to have me going like, whoa, and look at this. Like I want to do I want to do an animated version of me or a cartoon, a drawing version of me in different positions. I don't want to look obnoxious. And I want to do it where I'm holding a microphone, one where I'm eating popcorn, and another one where I'm, playing a video game. My tongue's going like that. I think that'd be kind of cute. And so I've always liked that. So, thank you, Lisa. Thank you, I'm Xavier. Nice fart. That's fine. Fart. There goes Mr. Grimm. Nana gave a prize for being me. The winner would be him. Thank you, Nana, for resubscribing. Hey, hope you're well. We adopted a new kitten. His name is Celebrimbor. Oh, wait a minute. Is that the named after the Lord of the Rings character, Celebrimbor? That makes 3 because we have Biscuit and Gravy. Biscuit and Brave. What's your kitten's name? This is Biscuit. Aw, this is Gravy. Oh, I see what you did there. What's the third kitten's name? Celebrimbor. I love that, Nana. That is fantastic. Very good. Very, very good. I think we have a person who hosted me as well. Ro, thank you for the host. Appreciate that, good sir. Thank you. Celebrimbor. I love the name, Nana. I love it. Yes, he's perfect. Because you can surprise people when you say like, oh shit, that's adorable. That's a really cute name. I love it. But yeah, Chet, it's small things. Like, well, big thing obviously with Alex Bernal editing. But I like my little artwork that I have here, and I'm trying to think of like someday maybe. But like one of my other priorities right now is just getting another editor to also do stuff. I think that'd be really good to do in the future. I have someone in mind for it, but I need to know if their schedule would allow them to do something like that because they are a busy individual. Chat, so we'll see. We shall see. Claro. Is that like salute? It's like cheers? Nice. So I'm hoping for that in the future. But yeah, it's a good question. Good question. Those are a couple things. And yeah, just getting used to more editing software and becoming more intimate with Premiere Pro. That's been great. And just little quick fixes and ways to improve the computer's functionality. And that's helped me. It's cut down on rendering time and exporting time. That takes a while. It takes a while because these are some big, girthy files I'm working with. So there's that. Means, of course. Gotcha. Thank you. Booty is, I love the booty, as you know. Chip. Also maintaining a schedule, at least having a schedule so I can at least track certain things that I want to hit. Whether or not I'm like, I could do it that day, but it's like, these are the things I need to hit in the week or I want to hit during the week. So I'm like, okay, this priority, etc. Secondary priority, that kind of thing. So definitely having a schedule. Now, Chad, we'll go ahead and move on to Vanny's music question. I've mentioned before about how the lyrics in the Final Fantasy theme song have hidden meanings about the plot of the game itself. I really appreciate the level of care and complexity the composers have put into these songs. Do you have any favorite songs that have lyrics that could be considered complex or heavy? Personally, I love bands like Rush and Coheed and Cambria, since they do quite a few concept albums with songs that have a crazy amount of depth to them. Chat, Imagination Illumination Dragon, or Imagine Dragon. Imagine Dragon's Enemy, Chad. I would play the song right now, but that song is important. Chris, who? Imagine Dragon, Chad, their song Enemy, because, it's multifaceted, Chad, because it's like everyone wants to be my enemy, right? But it makes sense in the context of the show, Chad, in regards to multiple characters, whether it be Vi or Jinx, also possibly known as Powder. And what they're going through, Chad, they come back and how people have viewed them, what society's viewed them now. It's like, I don't know who to trust anymore. Everyone wants to be my enemy. Everyone is my enemy. It's like, yeah, there you go. So Imagine Dragons, bro. Goddamn right, Daft Tracks, bro. I'm with that guy, too. It's like, I like Imagine Dragons. At least I like that song. So that is my answer. I would love to play the music for you, chat, but I do not want to get hit with that copyright that DMCA. We know Chris loves those cupcakes. Oh, I do. Oh, by the way, I forgot to. Well, actually, it's coming up in a second. But there's a person I need to wish happy birthday to. But I wish happy birthday to you in a second, good sir. I'm sorry that I didn't do so when we were doing the show. My apologies, but I'm going to do it properly when we get to your questions. Everybody see that Spider-Man? We did our thing. We reacted to it. It was fun. How do you not know how to say their name before? Listen, I'm dumb. I'm music dumb. I'm so dumb when it comes to the music, chat. He's getting them mixed up with the Lumineers. Yes, you're fired, Chris. I'm sorry. You know me. I've always been on. Listen, I've always been honest about it. I've always told you that I'm ignorant when it comes to the music. I called them imagination, didn't I? Imagine Dragons. Fuck. Dragon. Whatever the fuck. Them. You know who they are. Imagination Land, indeed. If you got, he said, he's a bonus question, Chad. If you got time for a bonus question, a new category, you know what? Why not? New category, Chad. Revan question. Firewolf, welcome back, Firewolf. Good to see you.
If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
Thank you, Firewolf. Welcome back. 15 months of incredible support using your Prime subscription. So kind of you to do that. You only get one Prime subscription a month, and the fact that you use it on my channel means a lot to me. Thank you. Thank you for being here, too. Hope you're doing well. Michael Jackson? I knew Post Malone. I knew him. I got that. Revan question, chat. Let's see what this one is. Currently, the queues to hop into Endwalker are in the thousands. I saw that. As I'm writing this, I'm number 2,783 to hop back in. Looking back, I realized that I've sat in so many lines for movies, games, consoles, etc., etc. When I worked at EB Games, I remember working the line for Halo 2. Having a blast. We gave out a ton of pizza and Mountain Dew while waiting for midnight, but the highlight was just chilling with some of our favorite customers. What is your favorite line story while waiting for a game, movie, console? The one that, listen, I don't want to get into a big conversation about this because every time you do, people get mad. They have opinions, but no, listen, going and waiting in line to see Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens was really cool. It was at the Bullock Theater, which is a theater in Austin. It's on the university. It's at the University of Texas in Austin. And it's this huge IMAX theater, and that's how I saw the movie, was in IMAX. And it was with a whole bunch of Star Wars fans, and I think we waited in line like for an hour or something. And it was like, an hour to see that, come on. But no, it was really great because everyone was really excited. And, who would have thought we would, back in the day, Chad, who would have thought we would have gotten another Star Wars movie? Like after the prequels, and we're getting all these little, Clone Wars animated series and such. For the most part, we thought the next time we get a Star Wars movie, if we ever do get one, it'll be when George Lucas dies. That's what we all thought. And so I was like, when the property is given to someone else. But Disney bought it. I was excited. A lot of people were excited and waiting in that line to see that movie. That was really good. And I still do really like the Force Awakens a lot. I has some issues with it, but that was a really good line experience. That was really fun because it was just all of us bonding over our love for Star Wars and our predictions and what we thought was going to be and who was going to be in it. Talking about that trailer, chat. So that was really cool for me. That was like one of the best line. I'm not big on the lines anymore, but I'm an impatient man, chat. But that one was a good one. That was a good little John Dragons. Oh man, everyone's messing with me. Oh no. Then waiting for Black Ops 2, my P telling our Modern Warfare 2 war stories, ordering 20 boxes of Domino's pizza. Damn. That's a lot. Oh, man, was bullying me. Being alive for Star Wars Episode 1 was cool. Seeing it, not so much. Fair. Yeah, people are excited. Anyway, I like Force Awakens a lot. So that was big for me. Wait in line for like 2 hours. Whoa, 2 hours. Damn. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like another line experience where I waited for a long time for a thing. And it was good. Like, I'm trying to think, like, the line was also good, but also the experience itself, like, of seeing whatever I was doing or whatever, that was also good. And The Force Awakens was one I'm like, yeah, that was a good one. Outside of that, I can't think of anything else. I've done festival lines before, and even some good movies, but but it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was like an amazing line experience or anything. But definitely Star Wars The Force Awakens was one of those. You did for T2, Lisa? Nice. Spider-Man 2 you win, Fox? Very cool. I don't wait too many lines. No, same for me. Not anymore. Chris Scher's Hunger Games was another one, but that's mainly because it was the midnight fans. Okay. The energy is palpable then. It's real. Me being pretentious as fuck, I do not stand in lines. That's my buffet line. That's fair. You get excited about that. We're going to eat so much fucking food. We're going to stuff our tummies. It's going to be great. Stefano waiting in line for seeing Double Toasted live. And and someone thought I was Martin. Oh, yes. That's a good one. That's a good one. Longest I've been in was Chick-fil-A or some other food. Honestly, don't go outside. That's fine. That's fine. I like that. That's good. And now it should move on to the next questions. Oh, no, Firewolf. I waited in line for almost an hour for Rise of Resistance at Disney. Made friends. The queue was interesting, but the ride itself was amazing. Oh, that's good. That's positive, Firewolf. Very nice. Very good. Very good. Saying good. I'm glad we have some nice line stories, chat. Because I know lines can be often reviewed as negative, but good. I'm glad that we have had some positivity. Very nice. And now, chat, moving on from Vanny's questions. Vanny, thank you so much for being a Juicy Game subscriber, sir. Thank you for all your generosity. Now I'm Xavier. Question 1. My question is about sex in films. What is the point of it? I have yet to see, I have yet to find a sex scene that I feel was necessary. I feel like intimacy can be displayed in other ways. This sounds like I'm totally against sex scenes, but I'm not. I'm genuinely curious. No, man, I actually agree with you. There's not really any point to them in a lot of things, in a lot of movies we watch. If anything, it's almost like you're taking away. Because it's like, well, we can have more dialogue here. We can have something more interesting going on. We can, expand upon these characters. A sex scene is just like, okay, we're just watching two people get physically intimate, usually two very attractive people, and then they do it, and that's it. There's not really too much to it after that. I'm all about intimacy in films, and some of my favorite romantic scenes don't even really involve sex or implied sex. Like a movie that I think of. That's one of my favorite romantic comedies. And I think it's just a great drama as well, is Silver Linings Playbook, and where it follows Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence and their characters and them dealing with their mental illness, but also falling in love with each other, but also working on something very positive that'll better them as people. And there's no sex between them in the film. They do kiss at the end of the movie. They do get handsy at one point where they're cuddling on like a chair, but there's nothing that is like, they just did it. And if they had, it would not have been, it wouldn't have been earned, and it would have been awkward, really. But I still think that's like a really romantic movie. But it doesn't happen to have sex in it. They talk about sex, but they don't do it. They don't showcase it. And I kind of like that. I like that. Sex scenes, they're kind of unnecessary when you think about it. I'm not saying this like I'm a prude, like I don't want to see any sex in my movies. Like, if it happens, it happens. That's fine. But they're not the most important thing. It's just really, it's a visual. That's what it is. It's a stimulating visual. Outside of that, not a lot to it. So you're not wrong, Xavier. Matter of fact, I fully agree with you. When I think of my favorite romantic moments with characters, it's not a sex scene. It's an intimate moment. It's an exchange of dialogue. It's an expression of feelings. It's a kind moment. That, to me, is what works the best when it comes to showcasing romance between people in a movie or in a TV show or in an animated show. That's for me. But titties, let us see boob and man bun piece, Chris. I mean, you can still have that, but I'm just saying for me. Lisa, I agree 100%. Thank you. That's the Plots' Cafe. Coming of age stories make good use of them. Evan Twitch, good to see you, Evan. Been a hot minute. Well, I agree sex scenes are not inherently better in building up romance and character relations, but movies generally have tight time constraints. True. So sometimes quick and dirty is what can be done with a limited time. True. They often do that. Oh, but titties, should say Snake, and peens. I prefer the wordplay and romance rather than the sex. Yeah, I like the flirting. The flirting is really cool. Once you had sex, those scenes are just meh. That's true. Because that's what happens so often in shows is when you have the constant back, like, ooh, are they going to do it? The constant flirting back and forth, and it's cute, and you're like, oh, it excites you. But once they do it, everyone's like, I'm done with this. And so it's always it's the lead up. It's the constant lead up that makes people excited, And you have to do that for the very end. Do that for the end of the show or the series or the movie or whatever. But even then, it's not necessary for me because that's not what's interesting for me, personally. Exploring the human condition. Yeah, exactly. If there's no butthole, there's no point. Martin Thomas, still be true. That is also true. Daddy Stickwood. Oh, Pino, no. Haven't heard Trinity 300 days. Haven't been here in a while. It has been, man. Yeah, exactly. No. Listen, to understand you've been busy, I'm glad to have you back. It has definitely been a hot minute, but welcome back. I think with 300 biddies, good, sir. An absolute pleasure. Just doing Class in the Glass cast today. Just talking to the people. Doing my Q&A. It's been fun, man. Thank you again for your generosity, by the way. Just moving something over here, chat. Digital Queen Isaac. It's all about the climax. I'll never forget having to sit through the Watchmen's. Oh God, the Watchmen's sex scene with a bunch of coworkers. That worked on the game. That worked on the game. Some with their kids present. Oh shit, the Watchmen's sex scene in that. Oh God, if anything. When that happens, Isaac, I'm glad you brought that up, where it's almost awkward and unintentionally funny. It's like, there's not really a point to this. Where, I mean, Zack Snyder, he doesn't know subtlety very well. He struggles with that. But like they really have hallelujah, hallelujah, as Night Owl is thrusting in a silk specter, and then he hits a button on the owl ship, and a giant burst of flame explodes out. It's like, I get it. It doesn't work. You laugh at that scene. It takes you out of it. Sometimes I like the type of scenes that plays with expectations versus reality. Yes, I agree with you. Yes. We can all agree Showgirls has the worst sex scene human. That is, yes. I agree. Scary movies are fun with it. No, go and get it afterwards. Yeah, exactly. I mean, then when you have sex in a horror film, you're going to die. True. Tiberius Monk, good to see you. Hope you're doing very well. I thought the scene in Iron Man when Tony was flirting with the reporter was really, that was done well because it was showcasing that he's a degenerate. And he has his various vices. Mm-hmm. And it was used for a laugh. Oops, full theater, full. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I figured that's what he meant. It was painful. No, I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, of course, it was awkward. It's like, whoa, what the fuck's happening? It was unnecessary. Took you out of the movie. Fire jizz. Zach Scherer's like, nah, not just jizz, man. I want fire jizz. And they're like, okay, Zach, you're the greatest filmmaker of all time, as we all know. So fire jizz it is. And they want to give this man the keys to the DC kingdom, chat. My Lord. When you say thrusting, he's thrusting. He's thrusting, all right. More ways than you can imagine. Forgot to mention that in my first game of League of Legends, I got called an ultra N-word. What a lovely community. I'm sorry, person, man. Yeah, I didn't know how toxic it was until recently. Like, I'm just unaware of some of, I guess I'm only aware of, like, my own multiplayer communities that I've been a part of, like Halo. I remember, that word was thrown around, among other words. But yeah, I didn't know about like League of Legends, so to hear that, it's like, it sucks. It sucks. Hey, at least you can enjoy Arcane. You don't have to go back to League of Legends, thankfully. Yeah. I mean, isn't that where babies come from fire? True. That's when you know someone's pregnant, Chad. When you shoot fire into a lady's belly, boom, prego. That's how it works, Chad. That's how it works. $1 million shot. My God. Oh my God, Chad. I got cursed out by a kid in Justice, then beat him with Hogman. Good. Racing Journeys always confuse me. Like, I know. It's it's weird. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Xavier. I'm not into. Yeah, it's the sex scenes in movies, like they're just unnecessary. I think there's better ways to showcase romance and intimacy, and yeah, that builds on the characters and makes you fall in love with them even more and care about them even more. I don't need to see them fuck. There you go. Pow, babe in the oven. That's how it works. What do you think bun in the oven came from, chat? Fire jizz. Only way you get a bun in the oven, chat, fire jism. At least it's not Ghost Rider pissing fire while smiling at the camera. Oh, yeah, there's that. Oh, Lord. And they're all cowards, yeah. Racist nerds, keyboard thugs who think they're about that life. Yeah, they're all pieces of shit. Oh, Lord, chat. Oh, Lord. Firewolf's like, yeah. Is that right? Is that how that works? Moving on. Moving on from fire jizz and buns in the oven, chap. I have come to the conclusion that KO City is my game of the year ever since the game launched. I've played the game almost every day. I'm even following content creators who play the game and watching tournaments for the game. Has there ever been a game that you like so much where you started looking for content about the game? Of course, man. And he's talking about streamer books, tournaments, etc. Mass Effect, obviously Mass Effect for me. Learning about the lore, the history. You guys know that. I've talked about that so much. Definitely Mass Effect. Resident Evil, I love watching streamers play the Resident Evil series. Horror games in general. There's something about that, especially like for the first time. Like, how do they handle the scares? What are their reactions to it? Like I've like one of my favorite streamers to watch, Chad, is Ray Narvaez Jr., formerly Ray from Rooster Teeth, Achievement Hunter, went by Brown Man for a while. Now he's under Ray Narvaez on Twitch. I love all of his horror streams. They're so much fun. He plays a lot of the Resident Evil games too, and so those are always like really fun for me. And you know, that's just something about that. And all the people's like reactions to Mass Effect. I like following people who played Mass Effect or RPGs and how they handle situations and how they do certain decisions and things. But yeah, I'm really into horror game streamers in general and the various franchises with that. So that's pretty big for me. Oh yeah, Dark Souls. Yeah, Soul streamers are really fun to follow. Like I haven't watched them in a while, but I always like their content. Game Grumps, Aaron Hansen and Don Avedon. And they've done a lot of Souls games like original Dark Souls 3, and Bloodborne, of course. And that was always really fun to watch just because those games are so challenging. Like, how are you going to handle these scenarios and how do you approach this boss or this particular segment? That's really fun to watch. And the humor and the frustration. I really like that. So that's big for me. How much is it for you to play a game, Chris? Oh, you mean to like do a game poll, or you want to like, or a particular type? Well, a game poll is $25. So I got to put the poll up here. I haven't really done so, but if you notice, like right here, we'll do our next video game poll. See if we hit $25. That'd be the big one. We got biddies, we got subs, and we got like kind of like general donation. Pretty much what it is. $25. There's one Bowser one love so much. I watch director's commentary complete. Oh really? Yeah. Because those are all scared around the game. Nice. Bloodborne for you, Winfox. Oh god, yeah, I love watching streamers play horror games. It's so much fun. That might be, if you can only choose one type of game to have streamers play, I'd be like, that one, horror games, please. That's the genre. That's so much fun. Leave me alone, I'm calling someone a vampire in my 6-week-old boxers. Oh god. Oh, there's gonna be some crotch rot. No doubt about it. Yeah, but that would be my choice. But those are my choice. Yeah, Mass Effect, Resident Evil, horror games in general. I think those are really fun. I follow so many horror games. Speedrunners? Oh, interesting. You know, I respect speedrunners because they've just found all these exploits for the game and they have to redo it. Like, I could never do that. That's too stressful for me. I hate being under a time limit. Like, I don't like it in games. But for those that do it, made a career of it, good for them. Oh, my Lord. And now, chat, we have the last question from M. Xavier. Since you have been playing Guardians of the Galaxy, completed that last night, chat, please check out last night's stream. Really love the game, full price. One of my favorite games of the year, probably in my top 5 right now. It's great. Which superhero team would you want to join? Honestly, none of them, because I feel like I would die. I feel like the rosters change so often, and there's always that run. You always get that one sadistic writer who'd be like, I'm going to kill this guy. Be like, and I would be on the chopping block, chat. I don't know. Like, I'm thinking, well, I grew up with the Justice League animated series. I love that cartoon, but I feel like something bad would happen to me. Raw with the 1,000 donation. Thank you. Here's to. Oh, thank you, man. Play Luigi's Mansion. I've actually played Luigi's Mansion 3. You can check that on my YouTube channel, Class in the Glass. I gotta play the OG Luigi's Mansion because that is a great game. I feel like I have to play that on emulator, though, since I don't know if I can, unless it's available digitally. I might be able to do that. Well, thank you, Ro. Well, actually, because of your 1,000 biddy donation, if you want to, you can pick a TV show for me to review, an episode of a television show. Since, in case you guys don't know, if you donate 1,000 biddies, you have the ability to then pick a show, an episode, a particular series for me to watch. So if you want to pick one, man, please go ahead. Please go ahead. Oh, I know. The OG. Oh, no, I get you. I'll definitely play the original one someday. Yeah. Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters, that's not bad. See, if I do Ghostbusters, I'd probably live because, it's a bunch of schlubs, and I'm like, I can be a schlub. I can be a schlubby guy catching ghosts and shit, so I think I would survive. Chat. So, but I feel like if I would join, like, a superhero team, I'd be fucked. I'd be like, I would die horribly, or, you know, my loved ones would all die. I don't know. I mean, you think like the Justice League, just because I have such affection for the DCAU version of it, the animated version, Bruce Timm and co. But a lot of people, all those characters they don't end up happy in that world. And with Avengers, I feel like I would be the what's his name? The Quicksilver. Didn't see that coming, and I would die. So I don't know. I don't think it would work out for me. But if I had to pick the animated Justice League, that's what I would want. That's what I would want. The DCAU, the Bruce Timm one. And Double said, number 269, Chris was killed in a fist fight by M.A. That might happen. I'm going to kick your ass, Christopher. No, M.A., no. Tiberius Monk, thank you for the 1,000 bitty donation. Thank you for Juicy. All hails Juicy and the Revenants. Tiberius Monk, thank you so much. Oh, chat, we're on a hype train. Rescue Rangers, I can do Rescue Rangers episode 1. Oh, shit. And Stefan, taking off the 2, following up with another 200 bitties. Oh, we're getting hype, chat. We're getting hype. You know what that means, you crazy kids. Thank you, guys. We got like 2,200 bitties in like 2 minutes. Thank you. Whoa. Whoa, it does Tiberius Monk. You do, yeah, you get an option. Chris Ayers, he will glee with the 5 gifted subs. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed with the support. Thank you, Chad. We got to get Juicy. Thank you so much, Glee. Absolutely incredibly. Go ahead and thank everyone right here. Glee, thank you with 100 bitties. Cash with 100 bitties. Duck and Henry with the 200 bitties. Glee with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you. Duck and Henry against Stefan with another 200 bitties. And Tiberius Monk with 1,000 bitties. And Roe with 1,000 bitties. Thank you so much for that choo-choo, chugga hype train. And also have nerve for the 300 bitties earlier. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. An absolute pleasure to have you here right now. We're having so much fun. We're doing so good. We're doing class in the glass catch. We asked some of the sass and reading questions. Do a nice little Q&A. Still got a lot of questions to go, Chad. This stream is far from over. Episode choice, Eccentric episode 1 on Netflix. Boom. Done, Tiberius Monk. And, Ro, you said Rescue Ranger episode 1? Boom. Got him. All right, we'll be doing those in the future. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you again for your patronage. Appreciate you. Oh, so let's go ahead and get back to these questions, my friends. Oh, we're moving on to Stefan Henry. Stefan Henry, by the way, he says, hey, Chris, it was my birthday on Thursday, so I appreciate a birthday shout-out. Happy birthday, Duncan Henry. Happy birthday, Stefan. Thank you so much for being a subscriber on my Patreon. I really do appreciate that. It was an absolute pleasure talking to you. I'm sorry I didn't wish you a happy birthday when we were doing Discord Discourse. That was on me. My apologies. An absolute pleasure to have you here. Chat, can we get some Mr. Revenue Hypes? I owe you a birthday song. I owe you some songs. So, Nia Brownie / Newsy Ducky, they are the keepers of the songs. And so, if you wish to give them a song, I will perform it for you sometime in the future. Maybe even tonight. We shall see. So, thank you. Cheers and salute to you. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. You're shaking the pillars of heaven as we speak. A pleasure to have you here right now. Thank you again. But now, I shall go ahead and answer your questions. You say, anyway, questions. Let's go ahead and do it. Question 1. With the release of Arcane and how damn good it is, do you have more hope for better video game adaptations? Yes, I do. Preserve the 10 bitties. Thank you. I'm Mr. Sun. Love that Heat Miser chat. Thank you, Timmy's. By the way, all Justice League episodes are owned, and only X-Men has episodes left. Need another tune. Maybe we'll think of another tune pulled by the end. I'll let you know. That'd be good. How about, what would be a good one to do? Is Spectacular Spider-Man up there? I already did that, right? I gotta do those. What would be a good one to do? Maybe Young Justice. I'll do Young Justice. Young Justice would be interesting to do. Yeah, put that up there maybe. And I'll think of some other ones for the future, for at least for Monday. I'll take tomorrow to think about it, and by Monday I'll provide some other ones. Witness me, Vannis Fears. To answer your question, good sir, but I know you've been neck deep in that Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker. Thank you for sharing your community of mine. I hope you're having a very nice time. I hope you had fun playing Final Fantasy 14, good sir. An absolute pleasure to have you here. Nice. How was the stream? It's been very fun, man. It's been an excellent stream. People have been so kind, have been generous, been having some good conversations, some good discussions have been had. It's been great. I'm still playing. Oh, you're still playing? Nice, man. I'm glad you've been enjoying it, good sir. Glad you've been enjoying it. Very cool, very cool. Thank you again for your questions. Very good questions this week. I liked them a lot. If you want to check out the MMO Final Fantasy 14 shenanigans, Vanispheres is your guy. You were hearing about it beforehand when I was reading all those questions, chat. Thank you, man. Thank you again for the raid. Absolute pleasure to have you. You're tipping my hat to a red mage, chat. But to Stefan Henry's questions, to Duncan Henry's questions, chat. Question 1. With the release of Arcane and how damn good it is, do you have more hope for better video game adaptations? Yes. I do think people are being more discerning about video game adaptations. And the proof is in the receipts, the box office receipts, and the reputation. I think with something like Arcane, it's a cultural phenomenon. It's in the pop culture zeitgeist. People are talking about. People who haven't even played League of Legends are like, this is really, really good. They're really enjoying it. And you look at something most recently, which came out around the same time as Arcane, Resident Evil, and heavy emphasis on that, chat, Welcome to Raccoon City, and look at its reputation. Look how many negative reviews that film is getting, the reception it's getting. The box office receipts. I mean, the movie is a bomb, chat. I think the last time I checked, it's only made about $15 million so far. And I know it has a budget of $25 million, but still, let me go ahead and double check, chat. I mean, look at the Witcher series. We like the Witcher. You got the Witcher series. A lot of video game adaptations are getting better, and audiences are becoming more discerning. And they're not going to support something just because it's an adaptation of even something they like. So far, it's made $16.4 million, chance, but on what, for 2 weeks? No, they're not continuing this franchise. I know they probably wanted to do so. Constantine Films, which is behind the original ones, they're like they're not. This ain't happening now. So, will there be bad video game adaptations? Of course. We got another one this year. What was the other movie I didn't like? Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat came out this year, and I mean that wasn't good. I did not like that film. It did definitely better commercially than something like Resident Evil. It probably reviewed a little bit better, but I was not a big fan of that movie. However, we have gotten a lot of good video adaptations, or at least some well-known ones. Some like, wow, okay, this is something new and different. Castlevania, I think, really kicked that off. Even Sonic, the first Sonic movie, it has its problems, believe me, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. And getting an actor like Jim Carrey, who carried that movie on his fucking two shoulders and did such a great. Every time he was on screen, I was like, this movie's great. When he's not on screen, I was like, okay, it's it can go from like okay to like whatever. But I was like, that was pretty good. That was better than I thought it would be. And then most recently, Arcane, amazing. So I still think we're going to get bad ones, but I do think audiences will be like, I'm going to skip this one. It's like, no, thank you. And I think Resident Evil is a great example. People are like, no, fuck that. No, I don't like what I'm seeing. You got to up your ante. We're not just going to go because it's just an adaptation. So I am thinking very positively about the future of video game adaptations. And Arcane and Castlevania have really set the bar. And I think other adaptations should try to reach that, or at least come close to that. At the very least, try to come close to it. If you put in the actual effort, you can change things. You can adapt things. That's what happens with adaptations, but look how respectful those two things are of the original works that they came from. But they still added so much storytelling and character development to them at the same time, and they're beautiful looking. So who's to say they can't do that with a Resident Evil or any other property out there? So I do think we are going to see more, and I think audiences are going to be receptive to those things, and they're not going to go and just watch something because it's an adaptation of well-known property. They're like, no, we're not going to support this because it's bad. So I'm hoping. I'm very hopeful for it, man. I'm very hopeful for it. Space Jam: New Legacy sucked. The animation was nice, and I don't like either. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't like either Space Jam. I've been on like the first one's bad, and so is this one. I'm no one's friend. People were like, I remember when during the people were like, yeah, I'm with Chris. I'm like, man, hold up, I don't like the original one either. They're like, wait a minute, what? I don't like either of those movies. Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Chad? That's the real shit. Watch that one. Less HBO show could be. That's true. I'm hoping for the Last of Us. I'm hoping Uncharted is good. I don't have a lot of faith in that movie, but I'm hoping. Borderlands movie is good, even if Roland's going to be played by Kevin Hart, and directed by what the fuck his name is? The guy I don't like. I forgot his name already. Who's the guy I don't like, chat? Eli Roth. Him. I'm not a big fan of. Well, I haven't seen the one movie, The House of the Clock in Its Walls, which I've heard is good, but his other products, ugh, No, I love Dan Stevens. You know I got a man crush on Dan Stevens now, you brownie. That's the most insulting thing you said to me tonight. Oh, I forgot. I saw the second one till just now. Yeah. Yep. Oh, Lord. 2 in development? Wait, what's in development? Wait, what? Fart? Yes. Which one's in development? What, Resident Evil? Oh, no, Sonic 2. You mean Sonic 2? Sonic 2 is happening. That's happening. That movie's going to be out next year, right? Or did they confirm that they're doing Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City 2, whatever they're calling it? Fart Evil. No, that's what this movie was. It was a whole bunch of smelly farts. Probably did smell like fart. Resident Evil is quite stinky, chat, so I do believe that. So they've already confirmed that the next Resident Evil is in development? Fuck. God damn it. Oh, man. Really? Really? The movie didn't make any money. I was not a fan of the first Sonic movie. It was decent. Yeah, it was decent. And it was elevated. To me, it was elevated when Jim Carrey was on. Let's see here. Kirk responds, possible sequel. Director Johannes Roberts stated that if a sequel were to be developed, he would like to adapt the story from Resident Evil, Code Veronica, and then Resident Evil 4. What does that mean? What does that mean? There's a sequel to this 2020 Resident Evil film development. What? I don't think so. What are you referring to, bro? So this is confusing. So this guy, he made the dumb decision of combining Resident Evil 1 and 2. Stupid. But I'm reading this right now. Director Johannes Roberts stated that if a sequel were to be developed, he would like to adapt the story from Resident Evil Code Veronica and then Resident Evil 4. Is he talking about combining both of those? Because if that's the case, no. Absolutely not. Robbie Amell has also stated he hopes to return as Chris in a sequel that includes his iconic boulder punching scene from Resident Evil 5. Didn't make any money. The studio didn't spend any money. Yep, true. There you go. You get what you deserve, which is nothing. So, RE Code V and RE4 maybe at the same time, because I hope not. That might be... Oh, Roger Rabbit 2. Wait, they're doing a sequel to that? I mean, they've been rumored to try to do... I mean, there's been attempts, but I don't know if that... Is that confirmed? Wow. Shit. I did not know that. That sounds like an even worse Cause of Fuck. Yes. Because those things take place years from each other. Oofa. You know that man wants to mash it. He loves it. Chris has spoken. I have spoken. Do not make it happen. But I do think that it's going to get better. Listen, who would have thought 20 years ago we would have something like Castlevania or Arcane when it comes to a video adaptation? So it's really cool that we are getting these really high-quality, well-made shows. And hopefully movies someday. Might get some really good video game movies. I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping for it, Jeff. So, yes. I think people are more discerning, and studios are going to have to do a better job at these adaptations, Jeff. Question 2. Music in films, shows, and games is so important. Agreed. It can make or break the story for me. Is there any music in a game, movie, or show that brought you out of the experience of any otherwise working project? You know, there's a couple. In terms of movies, there was one that I thought was just like, okay, this is just not meshing with what I'm seeing, and it is Spectre, the James Bond movie Spectre, and how that movie opens up, where it's the song "Writings on the Wall." I forget the guy who does the thing. I don't know the musics, but it's like super high pitched, and the visuals that we're seeing is like octopuses fucking women. And I'm like, I didn't need to see that. just a whole bunch of giant black inky octopuses on top of James Bond and ladies and just going to town. And I'm like, I get it because it's Spectre, their symbol is an octopus. I'm like, I understand that, but this music mixed with this imagery is just fucking weird. And I don't like that theme song. I know it's Sam Smith. That's it. Thank you, Tiberius. It was Sam Smith. And I was like, yeah, this isn't working for me. I've never go in the theater. People were snickering at what they were seeing. They were laughing. And I was like, yeah, this is not working for me. So that one took me out of it. And I don't think that's a good movie though either. So, you know, but yeah, that one was like, oh, it's not good. This is not a good start. Another one is Resident Evil Director's Cut, chat, basement theme. I don't know if you've ever heard the basement theme, chat. You think of Resident Evil, you think, oh, something very ominous or something as iconic as the safe room theme in Resident Evil 1 or 2 is like, oh, of course, or the amazing music in Resident Evil 4. But there was a director's cut of the game and they have a particular theme in it, and it's weird. It is fucking out there, and I'm just gonna let you guys listen to it. God damn it, Spider-Man, not now. Sorry, it's Spider-Man chat. He's here again. Here you go. This is music's. I mean, at this point, I'm not even scared. I'm just confused. Now, this is not a joke. This is real. He's still going. He's not done yet. He's not done. Okay, there we go. He's picking up again. Takes LSD. Whoa, you don't want to do that. You want to do that while playing this game. You'll mess your mind up forever. Nope, still going. I thought that would be the end. He held that note for a while. There you go. and that is the theme. So that one would definitely take you out of it. The Resident Evil Director's Cut basement theme. Dill Murray, we're just listening to the tunes, man. Listen to that Director's Cut basement theme. You know, that's what we do here. I love the music, as you guys know. What game was it? Resident Evil 1. When they did like a new version of the first game and they included that. It's like, wow. It's rough. Sounds like a fight happening on the Jaguar from Big. Yeah. It's like, what if you had Tom Hanks, but he was fighting a zombie? That's what that would be. Oh, Lord. It's rough. It's rough. So those are my two answers, chat. Resident Evil 1, Director's Cut, basement theme, and Spectre's Runnings on the Wall, where you have a very high-pitched, what was his name? Sam Smith, whatever the fuck, that guy, as James Bond, and some sexy ladies are being fucked by a giant octopus. That one. Isaac, flashbacks to when Saturn had the much anticipated updates to certain games, but they were somehow lesser. They were thank you. We'll call you. You definitely on the short list. Good to see you, Jaber. Hope you're doing well. Very nice, very nice. So now we're gonna go ahead and move. That should be that's the hype song. Sure, people would leave. I'd be like, okay, we're done, Chris. So now we're gonna move on to question 3 from Stefan. I think Arcane was your first better than sex rating for 2021. Forgive me if I'm wrong. My first better than sex rating is actually for Missiles vs. the Machines, but other than that, it is for Arcane. That's those two. Those are the only two right now. RD, have a great night. Sleep well. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Is this just a bad decade so far for movies and shows, or is the bar just that much higher for media to live up to such a saturated market? I mean, it's really what it is. It's the pandemic has caused such a delay for various projects. We're supposed to get like a lot of releases in 2020 and also this year, but they pushed all these things back, and that's halted production cycles, and so that's pushed things up, years. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be affected by it. So I wouldn't say it's just bad because the material's been bad. Now there have been, I think, big disappointments. There's no doubt about it. I mean, even this year, most recently. I mean, I agree that this year has not been really great for movies. I think there's been not to say there hasn't been great movies. There has been, but like my best of list is kind of scarce. It's like I got some films on there. I don't think I have 10 best films. I don't even know what to put on it. Like I have a few. I'm like, oh yeah, Mitchell vs. Machines is on there, and Pig is on there, and A Quiet Place Part 2 is on there, and I put the Suicide Squad on there too, and I had like Green Knight's on there, Gods vs. Kong, The Fear Street. But after that, it's like, okay, we're kind of getting to the matinees now, So I don't know. But there's been some big disappointments. Like the Marvel films this year so far have been a little lackluster. I've talked about Black Widow. The things I like about Black Widow a lot, I really like Florence Pugh. I think Scarlett Johansson did a great job. I like David Harbour. There were some big disappointments with that. Shang-Chi, I like the first half a lot. Second half, not so much. I haven't even seen Eternals. I'm looking forward to Spider-Man. That's going to be big. I thought Bond was disappointing this year. You know, there's been some other films that have come out, which I haven't seen, like Ghostbusters Afterlife, which seems to be super mixed. People that really like it and people that really dislike it. So, I don't know. There's definitely been some disappointment. And then 2019 was a rough year. It's because everything was delayed. So there's that. So it's made worse because of the pandemic and delays for these schedules. But I mean, also think of television. I think this has been a really cool year for television. We just had Arcane, Squid Game before then. Midnight Mass was this year. So there's definitely been some great stuff. But there's just not just been like a steady pace of it like normal years. Like 2019 was just fucking amazing. I agree with you. That was a good way to end that decade in terms of entertainment, especially for film. You know, a lot of people like Dune. A lot of people have Dune on their list right now. That's true. Netflix is on the come up with some great movies of their own. Yeah. So DC outdoing Marvel and film this. Oh, I agree with Tarzan. Yeah, I mean the Suicide Squad that's on my best of list. I think that's the best superhero film I've seen. I haven't seen Eternals, but I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. But yeah, I think the Suicide Squad's better than anything that all of the cinematic fare that Marvel's put out this year. Yeah. Anyone seen Raised by Wolves? I have seen a couple episodes. I like what I saw. Yeah. So else you guys are saying? Dude's your number one subject most major restoration. That's true. Make sure Resurrection, Tragedy Macbeth. That's with Denzel. Happy to hear good things about pigs. Trying to get people to change. Yeah, it's great. That's great. I recommend if you guys not seen it. It's not John Wick with Nicolas Cage trying to get after a truffle pig. It's not that. It's literally about how people deal with loss and whether or not you choose to pursue your dream or not, or you settle. That's what the movie's about, but it's beautiful. It's really well done. It's really well acted. It's really well written. Strong character moments, chat. Nicolas Cage gives a fantastic performance. He's going to get an Academy Award nomination, or at least he should. Recommend it, chat. But yeah, I do think it's just the pandemic that's caused all these delays, and we haven't seen as much. But there has been some big disappointments. There's no doubt. I think that's your... Yeah, so let's go ahead. Thank you for reading and answering my meaty, juicy questions. I appreciate you as always. Thank you. No, seriously, I really do appreciate it, Stefan. Thank you. These are some very good questions. Loved answering them. And hopefully things will improve in terms of the cinematic fare. Like next year, we got some really big movies that are coming out. And maybe we'll end this year strong. We got some big blockbusters. I mean, we have Matrix Resurrections. We have Spider-Man. So I'm hoping the best with those. So we'll see. Pig is on Hulu right now, so now you have an opportunity to watch it at Hulu. Thank you, 2021, for the Mitchell's Machines. My vote for the most hilarious piece of media I've seen. Yeah, that's my favorite movie this year. Nothing has touched it yet. Yeah, really good. That's my number one, chat. Oh, but moving on from that, now we're on to Thunder Lee. Chat, we're on to Thunder Lee's questions. Over the years, we had Hollywood actors make their way over to video games. Just today, The Rock just showed up in Fortnite in their event. That's right. I saw a headline about that. What is your favorite Hollywood actor in a video game? There's quite a few. And I think we're gonna start to see more actors, like, film actors or TV actors, move on to do video game work, as video games really, I mean, not that they haven't already. I've been doing excellent storytelling for 20 plus years at this point. But they're going to gravitate towards that, and especially older actors who are like, well, you're not going to be the lead in the movie. Well, I could be a lead in the video game, and we've seen that. But yeah, one of my favorites, Martin Sheen, certainly, chat, in Mass Effect 2 and 3 as the elusive man, as your friend, frenemy, and foe across the series. I think his performance is great, very much influenced by the Smoking Man from X-Files. He's in charge of this, some people would say terrorist organization, human supremacist organization. And you make a deal with the devil to work with him, put together the suicide mission, try to fight against the collectors, and later on you're fighting against him and during the Reaper War. But he does such a great job in those games. He gets a nice meaty role. Really, really like what they do with him across both. Most recently, Chad, the game obviously has a super controversial... there's a lot of controversy surrounding the game, and rightfully so, for Cyberpunk 2077. But Keanu Reeves is one of the highlights. He's Johnny Silverhand, which is a famous character from the Cyberpunk 2077 tabletop game. But he's fun. He does a good job. He's over the top. He says "fucky lucky," and I'm like, that's brilliant. And I always liked when he popped up and had comments about whether mission I was on or any character I was interacting with. I really liked his role in that game. He did a good job. He did a really good job. There's been even years ago, almost 20 years now, but you had Ray Liotta in Vice City. He was so much fun when Rockstar decided we're going to do a voiced main protagonist. And also you had a great villain in San Andreas with Samuel Jackson voicing Officer Tenpenny, who did great. So, yeah, I mean, we're seeing more and more of this crossover of these big name actors, whether it be film or television. This year we just saw Giancarlo Esposito play Gus again in Far Cry 6, which I want to play. I will play that soon. So, yeah, we're seeing that consistently, and it's fun. And I think we're going to see more of it. More of it. William Dafoe has been doing stuff for years. So it's nice. Damn it, Sam Jackson Andreas, Lance Reddick, and Horizon Zero. Yeah, Lance Reddick does a great job. You're going to see more of him, I imagine, Forbidden West. Mass Effect has a lot. Yeah, it's not even just Martin Sheen. We also see Carrie-Anne Moss. She plays the character Arya T'Loak, who is this gangster who runs like Omega, this massive space station filled with all this crime and things. She does a really good job in those games. Plays Gus for the third. He's played Gus in everything. Yeah, Yvonne Strahovski. Yeah, she plays Miranda Lawson. That's true. That's very true. Patrick Stewart's done voice work. He played Oblivion. He was in Oblivion. Max von Sydow was in Skyrim. Norman Reedus for Death Stranding. Aaron Malik in Until Dawn. Yep. That's right. His big fucking bug eyes. Yeah. No, you're going to see more of that, chat. Yeah, it's cool. I really like it. I really like it. But those are just a couple of ones that I thought like really stuck in my mind. I was like, I really like what they were doing here. But you'll still see more. Mads Mikkelsen, I mean, yeah. I mean, Hideo Kojima, he loves putting big name stars in his games now. It's cool. That's right, the Mega Drive Phone Order. Oh, shit, what's his name? He did a great job, too. Those fucking eyes. I mean, come on. That's what you notice about him. He's got to lick him to keep him moist. Oh, shit. Cameron Monaghan. Yeah, he does a great job. And Deborah Wilson, who is taking over video games, Chad. Deborah Wilson, remember Mad TV? She's in Wolfenstein. She's gonna be Amanda Waller in the Suicide Squad game. She was in Ratchet and Clank this year. She was in another game. Jedi Fallen Order, of course. So yeah, she's doing very well for herself. She's just kind of reinvented herself as this actor in video games. So, and every game she's been in is great. So good for her. Vin Diesel in other. That's right. That's true. Yeah, the first one, I never played the second one. Maybe I have. I don't remember. But the Escape from Butcher Bay is a really good game. You did a good job in that one. That's a good game. That's one of those that was back in the day when all licensed games were shit, and that was like the exception to the rule. That was a very super early exception. It was like, whoa, what the fuck? This is actually good. So I like that one a lot. And now his question is, who was the worst Hollywood actor in a video game? And I don't even blame this actor. It's just the material I don't think was great for him. But Michael Biehn in Aliens Colonial Marines, he just has this kind of like bored delivery throughout it. And Michael Bihn's a good actor, Chad. Obviously, Terminator and Aliens, of course, and other projects he's been in. Tombstone, of course. I'm a Michael Biehn fan. What do you mean, Chris Herman? But yeah, in that one, I mean, all the delivery's bad. It's not his fault though. It's just that game was just fucking weird. That whole production for that. But yeah, I mean, he was the one big name they brought. Maybe they brought back Lance Henriksen. I can't remember. But he was one of the big names they brought back for that. And it was like, yeah, this ain't working. This ain't working for me right now. So definitely that one. And your next question, what about anyone else? Is there like a particular actor, big name actor who was in a video game who did such a bad job? You're like, whoa, no, don't do this again. I'm trying to think of anything. That one just sticks out to me because overall the game was so bad. Peter Dinklage. Oh, shit. I forgot about that. There's a wizard on the moon. Yeah, when I played Destiny, that's right. And they replaced him. With Nolan North, who is a great actor and great voice actor. I remember that. That's a good one. That might be the ultimate Emma Stone. I thought Emma Stone was fine God damn it, the Sleeping Dog. I thought she was fun. I liked her. I dated her in that game. That was cool. I didn't mind that. Yeah. Oh, good one, Naya. Ronda Rousey in Mortal Kombat 11. Oh, that's a great answer. Yeah, fuck. That's really good. Really good one. Yeah, some good picks, chat. Wow, I forgot about. I think honestly the reason why I just forgot because they were so bad. I don't keep them in my head. I was like, whatever. But yeah, that's a good one. She was really bad in that. I'm sorry I destroyed your happiness. It's okay. No, it's good. I like this. I want you guys to participate in the answering. You guys are part of providing with the thick, girthy, well and down answers, and I love that. Good pick. Good picks, Jeff. Next question for Lily. What Hollywood actor would you like to see in a video game? I mean, man, as many as possible. I think that's cool that you have people that can transition to that. They can restart their careers. Maybe if they're like, well, if they get older, they're not wanted anymore, like in these films, or they're not, their name's not going to get top billing anymore. It's like, no, hey, you still can. These fucking developers and publishers would love to have you in their games. So, I don't really have a specific answer. Like anybody, I'd be open to anybody. I mean, obviously Dan Stevens, Chad, of course. Dan Stevens and Jennifer Lawrence, absolutely. I'd love to see them in those. But, yeah, I mean, I'm open to anyone. Mm-hmm. How many inches are these answers? There's a lot. There's like 10 inches. Not sure if anyone remember. Emma Stone had a cameo for 3 missions. That's right, she did. I like hanging out with her. I want to see Emily Blunt or maybe Hugo Weaving's daughter in a Metroid movie. Oh, shit. I didn't know she was doing things. Emily Blunt would be cool. Oh, and Samus Orion. Oh, fuck yeah. She killed it. Yeah, he smells. Okay. Oh. What video game actor would you like to see on the big screen? There's 3 that come to mind immediately, and you see them in everything. But it's like, yeah, these would be the ones to do it. Nolan North, Troy Baker, and Laura Bailey. Like, they have played and voiced so many iconic video game characters in the last 15 to nearly 20 years. Let's say 15 years at least. That I'm like, they could do this. They could be. I don't know why. It's weird that they just don't do the they just don't make that leap over to film. It's weird. You know, they're the video game voice actor trinity. The 3 of them. Like there's other ones that are just as good, but I'm like, those are the names I think people think of. Nolan North, Troy Baker. It's a game will have one of them. And then Laura Bailey will voice one of the female characters no matter what. So, yeah, I think they could easily make the transition over to a film or a TV series, like, easily. You know, I mean, Nolan North is a little older now, but it's like, who fucking cares? He can do it. He could do it. He could do it. Man, Troy Baker acting with Dwayne Johnson on Fortnite was a highlight. Troy can kill on the... Yeah, he can. He's a good-looking guy. He's got it. I mean, even if he isn't, he has the charisma. So I would love to see any of them. And there's a ton of other voice actors that would do a great job in just acting, live action acting. So, but yeah, that is Thunderly's last question. Very good question, Thunderly. Thank you so much. He'll have a cameo. I agree. He'll have a cameo. Yep, he'll be like a thug that Tom Holland kills. He's like, ah. And he's like, you're doing good, kid. Anyway, bye. Because he was on set. I mean, there was images of him on set, I guess, giving advice to Tom or notes and things. So we'll see. We'll see how that movie does. Isaac question. That Chicken Wayne, thank you. Oh, and thank you again, Thunder Lee, for being a subscriber to the Patreon. I do appreciate you. Isaac Stevenson, one question, a very last minute one. Some of the games that have stuck with me the most story-wise have been ones that revolve around tragedy or just overall fucked upness. Playing Least the Painful, I was tasked with making a lot of fucked up decisions throughout the playthrough. One of the easier decisions being to either kill off my best party members or sever my arm so I can no longer perform combo attacks. Based on that, wondering what game or side quest in a game stuck with you these years later has been extremely tragic or just messed up, and that improved the experience for you or not. Cheers, and have a good one. Thank you, Isaac. Yeah, I mean, the game, which is actually mostly about side quests, or at least engendering yourself or getting to know characters better, and that's Mass Effect 2. The whole point of that game is putting together a team of assassins, mercenaries, mad scientists, specialists, saboteurs to fight an alien race known as the Collectors. However, before you go on that suicide mission, everyone has problems, and they need your help, and they want your help. And so you help them, and you go and do their side quests. And that's the best parts of the game. And there were a number of side quests that just really stood out to me. One, which even for a character, I think he's fine. He's not, it's not my favorite character in the world, but he has a very interesting side quest, and that is the one with Jacob Taylor, who's one of the Cerberus operatives you meet for the first time, him and Miranda. He's has this very odd relationship with his father, didn't really get along with him, but all of a sudden he died supposedly 10 years ago, but now all of a sudden he's popped up. And he's apparently, he died in this crash years ago. He was lost, but now this transponder is revealing his location of his crew, and you go there, and you realize it's a Lure of the Fly situation where he's managed to, he could have escaped at any time, but he wanted to play king. He wanted to be a god, and the flora and fauna of that planet, if you consume them, you basically become stupid. Your cognitive faculties fail you, and you become like a child and easy to manipulate and control. And he fed all these people this vegetation, fruit basically, that turned them into slaves. And it was him and a select few other crew members. And you uncover this as you go through this mission together. And it's like, what the fuck? Until you finally confront him. You confront him, and you can prod Jacob to either murder his father, arrest him, or do whatever else, or let the villagers tear him apart. Like there's certain options you can do, and that one always really stuck with me. I really like that one a lot. There's also Tali Zora, Space Wife, Tali Zora, Vas Normandie's Trial, where she's, as you learn about Tali, she's so dedicated to her people and wants to help them, but now all of a sudden, out of the blue, she's been charged with treason and faces exile or possibly death. And you go to the migrant fleet, which is the Quarians are these people, kind of like gypsies, if you will. It's like kind of like space gypsies, if you want to define them. And it's like this massive fleet with thousands of ships, and you go there, and the trial is clearly a sham, and it's using to cover something else up, and it's an excuse because they want to go to war. And you basically act as her lawyer, and you investigate this mystery, and it can also deepen your bond if you are in a relationship with her or a romance or something. And I really like that one. That always really stuck with me. It's like, you're really Phoenix Wright. Objection! You can do that, and I think that's fucking awesome. So that, there's stones in the other one, though. Nia Brownie, no! There are no stones! I mean, maybe. Liara might be pregnant. That could have happened. You gotta play that Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I'm doing spoilers, so I'm sorry, but there are so many other side missions in that game dealing with those squad mates that I think are very, very cool. And they give the characters more depth, and it deepens relationships with Shepard. And so those all really, and those are sad. Those are sad. They're tragic and they're fucked up, and it reveals that there's so many people that are flawed. And I like that. Another one, though, it's more of a comedic type of, like, fucked up, if you will, where Ghost of Tsushima, a great game, one of my favorite games of last year, Chiz, my number 2. Hades was my favorite. But every single side quest in Ghost of Tsushima starts out like, oh, can you help me? And I'm like, sure. And either that guy will die by the end of it, his family is fucking dead, or he tries to betray you and kill you. It's going to end 3 of those ways. 3 of those ways, Chad. There's not going to be any other variety. And I was like, my God, could we get a little bit of happiness in Ghost of Tsushima? Like, I know it's a serious subject. It's the Mongolian invasion of Japan, but fuck me. Those missions are just funny because it's just like, it's so well, I'm going to try to help you, but it's not going to end well for you, man. Matter of fact, you shouldn't even do them because those people will actually live. Justice for Jaleel. Yes. Oh. We seen him. What are you talking about? No, I already played. Oh, we played Mexico Jaleel. I meant to play it first. Oh, gotcha. I want to do a more Gray. Ooh, interesting. In my opinion, I did not realize Chris was spoiling Mass Effect 2. I thank God I was not paying attention. Oh, that's good. Yes, I did. I didn't spoil a lot of it. I spoiled some stuff. Those messages, those Mongolians. That's what I said. I wonder how sad this guy's life is. It's going to be sadder. Yeah. That's right. Top Man Schindler's List is so serious about this Holocaust. Let's light things up a little. Listen, man. It's different for a video game. Okay? Because every mission was that. Every side mission was that. And they got a little leavening. But Mass Effect 2 is the one where it improved the experience so much. There were some fucked up missions, learning about these characters and their history and how broken they are and helping them and making them better or helping them become better. So the decision is there, of course. And so I really like that. I mean, there's other games that also do side quests so well, and many are messed up, and some can end dark. I mean, Witcher 3 famously has some incredible side. Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 have some amazing side quests, chat. Skyrim has some great side quests that can end dark. Fallout series, chat. You're doing an investigation of some murders of cannibalism. It's like, oh my God, it's a cult of vampires. Holy shit. Like, there's a lot of great ones. So many great ones, chat. Yeah. Foxeye mission was that was the happy one, because you pet foxes. Thank God. You just pet foxes on their heads. You get a little boop, and they're like, yay, and they love you, and that's it. Next game is just like, we're just going to kill all the foxes. No. So a lot of those. Yeah, Red Dead. Yeah, Rockstar games have some great side missions. Incest cannibals. The incest rape cannibals where they, you're captured by them. They want to rape you, and then they feed you human meat. And it's like, what the hell's going on? It was all that. That's true. So those are my answers. But the Mass Effect 2 that is the quintessential, like, they did side quests so well because they're very important. They're paramount in that game. And I love that. I love that. And now check the last question from Emily. Alex, also known as Alex in the chat, but Emily. My question for the week relates to Welcome to Raccoon City, which I've talked about before, chat. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. It's still new, so why not continue your dream movie plot for the RE franchise? I know you mentioned that you do multiple movies and Jensen Ackles would be Leon. That would be good. He would be my pick. I think he'd do a really good job. Would you change anything about the story? So, I mean, if we're doing Leon-centric movies. So each one will be its own film, chat. Resident Evil 1 will be its own film, starring, this person is Jill, this person is Chris, etc. And the next movie will be RE2. It's separate. I would do my trilogy. I'd do RE1, RE2, and RE3. That'd be good. And it would focus on, you'd have two co-leads, of course. You have Claire and you have Leon. And if anything I would change, there would be a point where they would be together, then they would separate, and they would come together again. I think that would be important. And you don't feel like you're lost. But from that, because they have their separate campaigns, they interact with people at different times and things. But I think that's important. And I would probably, if anything, if for RE2, I would probably bring them together sooner rather than later. Like I would have them together, then they separate, and then they come together again. But probably more often than not, I would like them to be together towards like the third act on. Like, okay, now we're back together. I did all this crazy fucking shit. I need your help. I would have Claire interact with Ada and do all that. Leon would meet Sherry sooner, I think. I would like them to meet. This is what I would do. They would probably, so you do the whole police station thing. They get separated in the beginning of the film. They would have those interactions and stuff. And they would come back together before they get to the nest. Before they get to the underground Umbrella facility. And they're like, okay, this is what we got to do. And Ada would be there with them as well, as long as Sherry, and Sherry, who was sick. And they would be together. It'd be that, the three of them, like, Ada's like, that fucking kid's going to die. Just leave it alone. She's like, no, we got to help her. And she's like, okay. And so it'll be the three of them working together to fight Birkin and interact with Annette. Then you have the betrayal with Leon. Claire would observe that. That's what I would do. The change would be I would have them together more than they're because then you think of Resident Evil 2, they're together in the beginning, and then after that it's over. As soon as the explosion happens to the truck, they're gone, and then they only come back at the very end on the train, and that's it. And it's like, no, I would have that happen much earlier, before that they enter the nest facility and do all that shit, which would be really cool. So that's what I would do. Who would I play as Jill? I gotta look up my list of characters I said would play Jill. I don't remember. Oh shit. Let's see if I have the cast. I remember doing this on a past Class in a Glass cast chat, so let's see if I have it. I don't recall. I had them all out there too. Shit. Let me see if I can find it again. My cast list. Ah, damn it. I'm trying to find it. Let's see here. Oh, is this it? No. Goddamn, I don't think I got. I said Mary Elizabeth Winstead says Jill. Okay, that's what I said. Yeah, she'd do a great job. I think Mary Elizabeth Winstead would make a great Jill. Oh, shit, I'm trying to remember the rest of them, Chad. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I got that when I was doing this at the time, I was like, I know exactly who I would cast. Boom, 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 boom. Knocked out of the goddamn park. But those were some of the ones that I thought of. Yeah, definitely Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Jill. I think she would do a great job. Mm-hmm. And I forgot who I said as Claire and stuff. But that's up there. That's definitely up there. Let's see here. Oh, shit, I got to open all these up. Hold on. I was opening up different lists that I had. Whoops, sorry. But in regards to 4, so okay, the Leon-centric one. So 2 would be that would be the story. With 4 would be hard because 4 is, yes, it's a beloved game, but it's dealing with a lot of outlandish concepts in the time period. And then, it has a dwarf dressed up like Napoleon, who's also a zombie, who then becomes a plant monster. And it's like, all right, how are we going to fix this? Like, that's the one I'm like, that would be intimidating to adapt. Because you have the whole medieval aesthetic, and you have, like, a castle that's in lava. You know, like, the village portion, like, okay, and it's this. Honestly, I would probably take a lot from Resident Evil Village. Like, okay, it's clearly this isolated community that's completely cut off from the modern world. You have to establish that it's cut off, and it's because of this cult. I might have to drop the whole... Like, we can have the castle and things. I think that would be fine. But I can't have, like, a castle in lava. Like, I can't go that far. Like, that I would have to take out. I feel like I don't know how I would make that work. I don't think that would translate over well in live action. And I could do like Salazar, and maybe he dresses up that way. He's ostentatious. But I'd probably take out like some of the traps too in the castle. Like, this would be his home. This would be his abode. This is where they do ceremonies and things. But it wouldn't be filled with some of the more ridiculous, over the top aspects. So I would remove that. I would definitely try to improve Ashley as a character. I would work. I'd be like, okay, we need to fucking work on Ashley as a character. That is one thing. We can't have her act like the way she is, because the audiences are going to hate her as much as players did when they originally played the game back in the day, and still do to this day. So, like, we need to make her very likable. We need to make her competent. She is kidnapped, and she was powerless to stop that because, you know, these fucking crazy cultists took her. But after that, she's like, no, she's not just, you know. And I wouldn't make her. I want to make her competent. I want to make her arrogant. I don't know, like, maybe some, like, I think recently, Haley Steinfeld and Hawkeye, I really like what they're doing with her, where she is competent, but she's kind of a dingus. She's kind of like a derp. She's kind of derpy, which I really like. I was like, that's how I would like to have Ashley, where she's competent, she knows what she's doing, but sometimes she's just kind of a dingus. I think that'd be really charming and cute. And so maybe that's what I would do. And she would have the whole dumpster thing. And she's like, I hid in the dumpster. What do you want me to do? Like, stuff like that would be funny. You know, but I would make it where she's charming. That would be one thing I'm changing. And maybe I would tone down some of the more ridiculous, over-the-top aspects of, like, the castle section. But for the most part, you can make it work. I think you can make that movie work. And 6 is like, I can't do it. No one can do it. No one can do it. But I guess those would pretty much be those Leon adaptations. That's how I'd make it work. I mean, all these games could work as movies or television shows. It's just, you know, you gotta respect the material. You gotta have the right amount of humor in it. Gotta have the right amount of scares. Gotta have the right amount of character death. Change and improve upon the characters when necessary, and you could definitely do it. I think you can adapt RE2 and RE4, and you can have a lot of fun with them. But you have to change certain things. And it was Claire. I like, you know what? The actress they have as Claire, I think, is I think she looks the character, and she just wasn't given anything good to do, sadly, in that movie. I forgot who I cast as Claire. I don't remember. Maybe that was that person. I think Anne Hathaway is too old. Like, Claire is supposed to be late teens. She's supposed to be a college student, like 19 or something. So I want to go somewhere like around that age, or someone could pass for that. Big titty mommy? Well, in Resident Evil Village, of course. Easily adapt that. That won't be an issue. That won't be an issue. But with that, Chad, Emily, that's your question. Thank you, Emily, for submitting that question. I do appreciate it. Hope you like the answer. But that wraps it up, chat. That is the last question for Class in the Glass Cast for your ass with a little bit of sass. I hope you liked it. Dan DeVito is Chris. Yes! I'm going to punch the boulder, Charlie. I'm going to punch it real hard. I would love it. Now he says, I don't know. You didn't like it? Oh, my Lord. Dad Chicken Wing Isaac with a 5 gifted sub.
There goes Mr. Grimm. If they gave a prize for being mean, the winner would be him.
Isaac, thank you so much, good sir, for the 5 gifted subs. Congratulations to Scooter, New Genius, Seth, Anzil, and Brightburn. Very nice. Very nice, my friend. Thank you so much. Well, Jay, you have any other questions for me before we wrap up? Before I bid you adieu?
There goes Mr.
Yes. Glenn Close, let's go older. Let's go. Let's make her guilt. Oh, gee, the holiday sub alerts. It's been about a year. It has been, man. I love them. They're so good. I love my themed alerts. I gotta do more. I gotta get Jordan Michael Schwager, commission him again for some other things. Think now I can play. Jam, why are you putting that out there? We put it out there. We'll do Jackbox. We'll do the Jackboxins soon. We'll do it on at least on Monday. Do I have any holiday wishes? Do I have any holiday wishes? You know what? Just to maintain this wonderful positivity that we have in this community. I want to be better for you guys. Always trying to be better and make sure that you guys are having fun. This is really great. I hope this is a nice little outlet for people who can come in here and talk and commune with people that have similar interests, and just to keep maintaining that and just to make it better and keep it as friendly as possible. I think that's been great. You know, I love doing this for a living, and you guys are so incredibly supportive of it. And I like finding new ways to talk to people, whether it be here or even DT Gameplay or Discord Discourse, which is great. Or on YouTube or Patreon, whatever. I mean, that's been really fun. And so, yeah, I'm hoping I'm hoping you guys have been enjoying it as well. And the same to you, Naya, and the same to you. Wet fart. Oh, my God, wet one. Oh, my God. God damn it. Because they care about me unlike you. I do care. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to the Revenants, to Juicy Gain, indeed. The cats, look at that little kitty cat cozy. Yay, hard hands. Night, Newsy Ducky, lots of fun. I wish that I'm not here right now. What do you mean? What do you mean? Happy to have you here. Hard hands, indeed. So it's been great. No, it's, again, Chad, like I said, if there's any feedback you want to give me and to make things better or to fix things or you think they can be improved upon, then give it to me. Whether it be on here or any other platform that I'm on, you know. If I want any changes, like I said, I'm being a little more active on Discord now, which I'm happy about. I'm going to continue to do that. I'm working through my backlog of content that I owe, especially for my patrons and things. I mean, I want to, Alex Manel's doing great work, but I also want to get another editor working. I have 2 people doing the same thing, which would be good. Those are some other personal goals of mine right now. But yeah, things have been going really well, and I just hope I can make it better for you guys. I have a suggestion. What is your suggestion, Newsy Ducky? Always enjoy the cast. Thank you. Yeah. You should do food reviews. I want to eventually do, not only food reviews, I want to do music reviews. That's something I'm going to actively, I want to do so to correct my ignorance, chat, to improve upon my lack of music knowledge. I'm going to be getting a record player. That'll be my Christmas gift to myself this month. And I'm going to get albums. I'm going to have you guys suggest albums, and I'm going to start reviewing them. I'm going to start going over them with you guys and talk about these songs, what I liked, what I didn't like, that kind of thing. And it will be helpful if you guys can suggest stuff for me for albums, so that'll be really fun. So that's good. And what was the other thing I was going to say? Yeah, but that's it. Oh, I want to do cooking streams. I want to also do that. I gotta find a way to make that easy on myself, and so I might have to get some more equipment for that. So that'll be good. More Jackbox. I play a lot of Jackbox. I'll continue with the Jackbox. First review will Imagine Dragon. Goddamn right I will. Or as I like to call them, Illumination Dragons or Imagination Dragons. They're a band of many names. Yeah. I have a Scrooge movie. Muppets Christmas Carol. That's my favorite one. Serious. It's my favorite one. Yes. There is one. And by the way, thank you, Chris. I'll read your question in just a second, or your statement in just a second. Question. Name a side quest that had a painfully difficult choice system to make. What choice did you make and why? Also suggestion, never lose the beard ever. Thank you. No, I'm keeping the beard, man. I'm keeping the beard. Had a difficult choice. Side quest had a difficult choice. Oh, Jesus. Let me think about that. I'm trying to think like Mass Effect. There was like a really difficult choice where I'm like, I don't know what to do. Because, I mean, there's, or like Fallout or Skyrim. You know what? Skyrim, I'll tell you what. So there's a quest line in Skyrim where you have the invading Imperials and you have the Nords, which are fighting back. Now, the Imperials are, they're imposing upon the Nords and basically subjugating them. You're like, oh, well, I want to help the Nords, obviously. I want to fight with them. However, if you side with the Nords, you find out more about them and that they are extremely racist and they don't like non-Nords. And it's like, whoa. And I'm like a kitty cat. I'm Idris the sneaky kitty cat daddy, chat. And if you hang out with the Nords, they're assholes. It's like, fuck you guys. I like being a kitty cat, so I side with the Imperium. So that was interesting. It's like, oh, you want to help these people fight these oppressors, but then you find out they're super isolationist. And some like you, this one guy's like, hey, I like you even though you're a kitty cat. And it's like, okay, that's kind of a backhanded comment. The other guys are like, I hate that fucking kitty cat. So that was cool. I like that one. Oh, that 2 foot is popping me. Goddamn right, all that. Yeah, I won't because I have this little table out in my apartment here, which I still got to show you guys pictures. I got this little table out here, and I want to put some stuff. I think a record player and my whiskeys and drinks and little snackums will be really nice right there. That'd be cool. Be really cool. Well, Crunchy, would you travel to right now if you could? Mine would be New Zealand. Would be good. I want to go to the land of hobbits. I want to go to the Shire. New Zealand would be awesome. New Zealand would be really cool. Japan would be awesome. I want to go to Japan. I want to go South Korea. That would be nice. I think Italy would be pretty cool, or Spain would be nice too. I want to go someplace warm though. I want to go someplace really warm. So I think right now New Zealand's a great choice, but I really want to go to Japan, South Korea someday. Those would be really fun. Only I'm gonna send you both copies of Ice Nine Kills Silver Scream. There you go. Thank you, man. That's very kind of you. Thank you. I got to get a P.O. box. That's one thing I got to do this year. I got to get a P.O. box. We have an Imagine Dragons? Nothing. I kept mispronouncing the name. I called them Imagination Dragons. I called them Illumination Dragons. Oh, yeah. I like the song they did. I like getting the S Hunting Quest. Those are fun. Mass Effect has one ME2 for me, mainly regarding Samara and her mom. Oh, that wasn't hard for me. I was like, yeah, this girl's fucking crazy. She's a serial killer. Now listen, it's like, well, my mom has been imposing all these restrictions on me. It's because you're a serial killer. What's her name? Mornith. I was like, no, I can't let you. She killed that poor girl. She killed that poor innocent girl. That wasn't hard for me. Person was like, no, fucking smush your head. And mama smushed. Mama smushed. Ireland. No, welcome to Sweden. No, we're a Swedish girl. Man, I was talking to a Swedish girl yesterday. It was fun. I want to go to Sweden, so I want to go when it's warm, though, and not when they got, like, fucking White Walkers and trolls. Like, moving around and stuff. I think we're in the middle of winter, so they're all migrating. They're going south. And they're all across the country. You're terrible. What do you mean? I feel sorry for the people in Sweden. They got to deal with that every year. Rude. Kids like huge shit, Chris. Don't tell Swedish girl I said that. Okay, now you're just asking me, man. I'm from Sweden. Listen, I saw Troll Hunter, man. I saw them. Yeah, I constantly deal with them. It's a huge pain in the ass. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. She might not be on right now. Oh, Lord. I was just seeing Rossi mom after. Oh, sure, I get you. Oh, 2023, you're going to Japan? Nice, man. Chris, I want to go to all the white. I didn't say I want to go to the white places. I said I want to go to Japan. I said I want to go to South Korea. Not many whites there. Not the majority of the population. I'm telling when she gets on. No, don't do it. Don't call Swedish. Go, no. Say her name 3 more times. She might go, oh, she already did. Chris probably thinks Sweden's full of crazy cults like the ones in Midsummer. Well, they got to do those, practices so they can ward off all the monsters that might attack. So, they got to sacrifice a few people to do it. I get it. There's one out to bed. Have a good night, Juicy Herman and Revenites. And remember, for the Revenites, my friend. Oh, Lord, Chris, I want to go to all the places that don't have brownies. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I want to go to, who else do I want to go? I want to go to South America. I think that'd be kind of cool. I want to see Machu Picchu and all that. That'd be neat. That'd be That'd be really fun. I want to go to Morocco. Morocco would be cool. Oh, Lord, yeah. Australia and rat kangaroos. I would like to go to Australia, but I want to stay on the coast, and I want to be in the city because I don't want to have to fight the monsters that live there. I don't want to fight. Listen. Australia, I really want to go there someday, but it's Skull Island. It's literally fucking Skull Island there. They got giant spiders. They got saltwater crocodiles grow up to 30 feet. They have sharks. They have everything's poisonous. Everything's poisonous there. Like 2/3 of the animals there are poisonous shit. The kangaroos beat the shit out of you. It's like, how the fuck did they survive? It's amazing. They're strong people. I bet they do have good food. I bet they do. But I am, you know, I don't want to go to the Outback. I definitely want to go to, it's Arrakis. It's basically Dune. It's Dune over there. Oh. But New Zealand has dragons and cave trolls. You say you want to go. Well, you know, that's different. They also got hobbits. If I go to New Zealand, it'd be the Shire. I'm going to hang out with the hobbits all goddamn day. Yeah, thank you. I'm telling Chris Hemsworth, go. That's why do you think Australia produces these giants of men and women, chat? Like, you know, fucking Chris Hemsworth. He's like 6'5", 250 pounds, all muscle and shit. Yeah, because he fought all the saltwater crocodiles and is immune to spider venom. That's why he is the way he is. I want to smoke the pipe weed. Thank you very much. Have you taped that kangaroo beat shit out of you? I don't want that to happen because it will happen and they'll kick my ass. That's where he drop bears. Drop bears. I don't know what that is. That sounds horrifying. How about China, Chris? You can meet Winnie the Pooh. Actually, no, I don't want to go to China. I don't. I'd be scared to go. I actually would be scared. There's a couple countries I'm like, I'm not going there. I don't want to go to China. I would be very concerned about that, especially because I've said a lot of shit about China. Not the people, but the government and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. No, I don't want to go there. Hong Kong, I'm like, if I had to, like Hong Kong, but I don't want to go to Beijing or Shanghai. No, thank you. Oh, North Korea, obviously. Anyone who goes to North, you do not do that. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, because I know people who have gone there and but you're dumb if you go to North Korea. Do not do that. Jesus Christ. I don't want to go to China. I don't want to go to Russia. I don't want to go to Russia either. I'd be very concerned about Russia. Yeah, just Vladimir Putin and his fucking control over that country for the past over 20 years. It's like, nope. No, thank you. Yeah, I'd rather go to Russia. I wouldn't go to none of them. Yeah, no, not Russia, China. Those are definitely two. I'm like, no, I don't think I never. I like learn about them. They're interesting, definitely and stuff. But I know, yeah, Germany's. Oh, yeah, like I would love to go to Germany. Germany's not Nazis. They're not. They're like, yeah. Listen, between 1933 and 1945, it's like, yeah, so it was a bad time. But yeah, after that, they've gotten better. Yeah, I would go to Germany. Yeah, of course. I would love to go to Berlin. That's very interesting history in Germany, chat. Very clean, I've heard too. So I definitely go to Germany someday. Yeah, that's definitely on my bucket. I'll go to Germany. I want to go to France. I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Spain. I want to go to the UK. I want to go to Poland. Yeah. I want to go to the Nordic. I want to go to Sweden. I want to go to Denmark. All the entire Scandinavian peninsula. I want to do. And so with Russia, Chris watches you. Oh God. Yes. You got once in North Korea. That's your life, dude. You don't fuck up. Chris names all white countries. But I'm saying Europe. We're talking Europe right now. We're talking the Europes. I want to go to Morocco. I think it'd be really cool to go to Morocco someday. Morocco would be pretty cool to check out. What else? Where else do I want to fucking go? Oh, I would go to Kuwait. I think Kuwait would be cool to go. If you got to go to the Middle East, I'd be like, yeah, Kuwait. I want to go to the ones where I'm like, all right, relatively safe. So Kuwait would be probably the big one to go to, or the United Arab Emirates would be interesting to go to. India might be fun. Yeah. I want to go to the Caribbean someday. That'd be cool. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna go to Costa Rica. Visit the dinosaurs they got there. Yes. South Africa. The thing is, like, every time I've seen South Africa in media, it's like it never just the cultural and economic disparity between the two groups that live there is like very stark. And I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. Yeah. And Bahamas would be going to do. Yeah. So there's a lot of options, Chad. Like, sadly, I haven't really traveled the world. I'm probably later in my life I'll have the opportunity to do so. That'll be fun. But I definitely want to travel. Because the only countries I've ever been to outside the U.S. is Canada. That's it. I would go to Brazil. What's the one that kidnaps people in South America? There's one particular country that kidnaps a lot of people, and I want to be sure to avoid that one. I feel like Peru would be safe. I think Peru would be good. Peru I would like to go to. I would go to Peru. I like to go to Peru. Maybe Chile. I like to go to Chile. There's the type to go to Jamaica and do his awful. I would not do that. I would absolutely not do that. I think it's Brazil. I will not go to Brazil, Chad. So Sadly, I have to scratch it off my list. I'd be a little concerned about that. Because they have, don't they? Doesn't Brazil have the most kidnappings out of any country in the world? So I'm, Mexico? No. Probably not going to go to Mexico. Listen, and the reason why is I know people who have gone to Mexico. I live in Texas. It's not far away from me. I know people who have gone to Mexico, and they make me not want to go to Mexico. So I'm probably not going to go to Mexico. Yes. It's only if you say with the white squishes birds. That's not true. That's not true. I mentioned other countries. Yeah. Well, the corruption. The thing with Mexico, it's the corruption. And the cartels. I'd be like, you got Cancun. It's like, Cancun. I'm not a big, woo party guy. It's not really my thing. So, yeah. I was in Mexico once, and it was on a beach during a stop at a cruise. And that's how you should do it. That's how you should do it. Ridley Scott did talk shit about Mexico. That's true. Yeah. So, I don't know. I'd be concerned about the corruption and the drug cartels. So, but that's just me. But it's all that. But I do want to travel more someday, chat. Definitely. But I think that brings an end to today's questions. I hope you like Chris Forgets the Philippines. Oh, Philippines would be cool to do. I would go to the Philippines. Yeah. No, those kind of countries in Southeast Asia I'd like to go to. Philippines would be neat. They have the same thing in Italy. The mafia. Oh yeah. It's true. That's a good point. And wasn't there like a super high kidnap rate in Italy for like a time? Is that still really high? Have I been to all 50 states? No. I've been, let's look at a map here. Let's see what states I've been to. Oh, what states have I been? They all eat pasta, that's true. But I speak the Italian. I speak the boppity boopy. They would love me there. It'd be the last thing I do, chat. Where in the world is Chris Herman? Chat? Let's see. Let's look at a map. Okay, so where have I been? I've been in New York, Pennsylvania. Let's see here. Okay, Chad. I've been to New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, as I said, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. I have also been Texas, chat, Illinois, where else have I been? Washington, and California. So I'm missing a lot of the Midwest. I'm missing a lot of the Southwest, too. I want to go to Colorado. I want to go to Colorado. I want to do my cabin vacation there. No, I've also been to Canada. I'm in Canada, too. In his house, hiding with his stolen cheese. That is true. That is true. So the state said no one cares. People care about Colorado. People care about that one. They care about Oregon. You care about Oregon, Jeff? Yeah, matter of fact, the book Man on Fire is based on a book. That's right, in Italy. Because they had the highest kidnapping rate. That's right, the original one. And when they made the movie, they switched to Mexico because their records surpassed Italy's. There you go. Puerto Rico was great. I have not been there since I was 11. The beach was great there, too. We wouldn't have South Park. That's true. But I just want to, they have a lot of entertainment there, and I want to rent my cabin there, chap. NYC is a state no one cares about. NYC is a state no one cares about the New York. That's true. Everyone's like, every time you say New York, they always go think New York City, but not the rest of the state. True. I've been to Canada, New Zealand, China, and briefly, Jared. Oh, cool, Casper. Nice. All right. You've been to more countries than I have. That's awesome. NYC equals Gotham. I don't think it's Gotham. In the 1970s, it was Gotham. Definitely. Not now. Not too bad. 1970s New York? Oof. Definitely. Modern day? Not so much. Oh, well, Chad, we got a little excursion of our own. We did a little traveling around. We learned a little bit about each other. I think that's fun. It's been really good, Chad. But now, my friends, I'm going to bid you adieu. New York's Metropolis, Gotham is Boston. Well, Gotham is, I've always been Chicago. That's what I always thought it was. You know, like in the comics and stuff. I mean, they change the location all the time. That's what I always read it as. That it was Chicago, but whatever. But now, my friends, I'm going to get going. Thank you for all your incredible support. Let me go and we have a lot of biddies, a lot of donations. Thank you, Chris Ayers, Dat Chicken Wing, Kaz Faye, Glee, Ducking Henry, Tiberius Monk, Roe, Evan of Twitch, everyone who's been donating, stopping by. Really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Firewall, thank you so much. But now, my friends, I must bid you adieu.